He asked for a pardon.
Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter-like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, BeefLoaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, MySoxSummer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Chorizy-E.
Thank you, Chorizy. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If BeefLoaf calls himself a menace or talks about gilfs, you drink. If MySoxSummer says listen or starts to ramble, you drink. And if I talk music or say here's the thing, you drink. Of course, you can make all of us drink with a tip of $1.08 or more.
Please more.
But speaking of drinking, fellas, what are you drinking? BeefLoaf, what are you drinking?
Boys, I'm officially on vacation right now. It has started,
baby.
And
all right.
when I go on vacation, it's fart season. The air quality already is bad.
Oh.
Might as well contribute to it. We're gonna go with the old styles tonight, and I've been pouring them into the big.
Oh my
big
God.
White Sox mugs. Remember these things we give them away annually, and like it fits almost 2 beers basically. So I got the first two soldiers in here right now.
Beautiful.
Nice.
And old style always tastes so good. So I hate to rely on old style. We're gonna turn it over, soon. But right now, I'm really feeling that to quench my thirst.
I saw Vinny said
badass.
the 30 pack was like $12.99 or something. So yeah, it's a deal, man. That's a great deal. MSS, what are you drinking?
Care to wager what I'm drinking, Chorizy?
I'm gonna say either Guinness or Surfside.
Oh, it's Guinness time. Yeah, and I actually had a beer last night. Went out. We were kid-free last night. So me and the wife went out. We went over to a local theater over on Halstead, and I had a like a sour or whatever. And it just made me say, you know what? God, I love Guinness. I'm gonna drink that tonight, just in honor of my boy Chorizy. Chorizy, what are you drinking tonight? Is it Guinness?
It's a bullpen game tonight. So
that's awesome.
We've had a few weeks of games and stuff, and so I get stuff, and then like almost all of it gets drank, and then like some was left over. Up first is the Modelo, the Chilada, but it's the watermelon. No one ever takes the watermelon. The watermelon's always left behind. And then
It does get left for last. You're right.
I also do got some Pacificos to back that up. There's probably some other stuff in here too. Just a real mishmash, if you will, of stuff. But
badass.
You got to clean up the stuff so you could bring in a new set of booze for the week.
I gotta ask you though, Treasy, when you're getting down to the end like that, do you ever let's say it's just a night at home, maybe you got nothing going on, you're bet on horse racing until 3 a.m. Are you ever focusing on one specific beer to get it knocked out of the air? Or do you not mind when you have like 4 or 5 different beers at the end of the fridge that night you're going to take down all of them?
I usually don't mind. If I have a whole bunch of different stuff in there. The one I keep looking at though is that we still have some of those apple ones. What was that? Natty Light or the Keystone Light. Keystone Light apple. Yeah, those are
that
still
was my joint.
Those are still kicking around. Maybe I'll bring them to the lake house for you, Beef.
Please bring them to the cottage for me, if you will.
I won't bring them there. I don't know what that is.
How dare you?
Chief, how you doing tonight?
So horrible.
I'm good, boys, and I hate to do this with my banter, but I'm going to bring up a White Sox topic. I don't know if you guys saw it. I assume that you did, though. Jesse Rogers had a article at ESPN.com, and the base of the article was he got an inside look. He got a chance to be in the theater to listen to the White Sox brass, head by Chris Getz, discuss the merits of Rock Chalowski versus Grady Emerson and trying to make their decision for the draft pick, the number 1 draft pick. And so I want to get your guys' thoughts first before I opine on what I really thought of this, because it was a very interesting thing that happened, in my personal opinion. Go ahead, MSS.
There's 2 or 3 things that I was very intrigued with, but it was all the same behavior. Chris Getz was swearing and said fuck like 3 times in 3 quotes. Like, I was like, yes, this is like, that is not who I thought Chris Getz was. And I like that he's just throwing fucking in every so often. I was just, that made me feel really good. And then the other parts that I liked were we interviewed all the people that were associated with that at Sox Fest this past year. You know, like we like knew those guys. Yeah. And we have a personal relationship with them. And I'm reading about Mike Shirley, and he's like, I'm like, that motherfucker's a lunatic, and he wants to get in the hot tub with us. Like, and he's talking about all these things, and they're like, oh, they're so professional. Everyone's professional and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And he wants to get down with us in the hot tub. So, that was the biggest thing that stood out was the cursing by Getz, though. I like that a lot.
An all curse show, if you will. Teresa, what did you think of it? What did you think of the article?
So, I mean, I like the idea of it, right? Like, I like the idea of it. And I do like that the Sox are like trying to connect with the media and the fans a little bit more than before, where it's just fucking trust me. But like, this is performative, right? Like, they already had that decision made. This is just a play of what occurred before, cleaned up to make everybody seem great and like nobody's feelings are hurt or anything. But I mean, I assume the check was already signed for 10.35 when this shit happened. Like, this isn't, he wasn't really there for the discussion. He was there for the recasting of the discussion.
What about you, Loaf?
My sentiments exactly. And I saw this tweet from Rob Hart, and I thought, like, I talked about this a little bit last night with my guy Danny Miller and Jacob Thome on the Hot Takes and Heaters and Future Sox page. Yep. But Rob Hart says that it encapsulates it tightly, and I'm going to expand upon this. But he says, great story. Also savvy PR on the part of the White Sox. Fans will read this, but the intended audience is players, agents, and other front offices that only know the White Sox from all of the behind-the-scenes exposés in 2024. And I kind of thought along the way what you were saying, Chorizy, is like, this is a cleaned-up version of, these are probably real discussion parts, but I don't think they're the main choice is being made quite there. I think the real guts of the discussion happens behind closed doors, because there's certain things you just can't say, don't want the media to hear. The brushed up version, like this is the it's like you're having an annual meeting, Chorizy, and you're giving a presentation. That's kind of what this was. But I still like it. And the reason why I still like it is because, when Chris Getz took office, 3-ish years ago, he couldn't come in right away and tell everyone, look, I think I'm smarter than Rick Hahn. I think I know how to build an organization better. Everyone would have laughed in his face, and not just fans, but particularly the media. The media is the one who was really holding on to Rick Hahn and really had great things to say about him. They were always eating out of the palm of his hand. They always had the blame pushed out to Kenny Williams, pushed out to ownership, and forgets to come in there and try to establish that I'm a better choice than these guys. I should be in here doing this. It would have fell on deaf ears. So he had to build the thing slowly but surely. That's why you heard him talking about shit like culture and vision instead of saying like that he's intelligent or that he's savvy. He had to slow play this. And to me, this was kind of like the spike the ball moment of the first 3 years of easing you into the thought that Chris Getz is actually a better fucking GM than Rick Hahn. And he's always felt that he's a better choice. And I'll see things written out there that are almost borderline disparaging about his intellect. And really what people don't understand is being the GM is about hiring smart people, is about trusting smart people to do things. And then, yes, you may be making the overall decision, but you're overseeing all these programs and making sure you're putting the right people in place. It's what the last guy, even if you think that guy was individually smart, was horrible at doing. Just could not do it, was not capable. And I thought on both prongs, Getz hit it really hard. And so when Rob Hart mentions that he Getz is talking to other future front office people and potentially media or whatever, I thought this little excerpt was where it really hit hard from Jesse Rogers' piece. It says Getz was the ringmaster throughout, steering the conversation to each department as personnel shared what they've learned about each player. Each group was important and heard. Each came with a different perspective, all in the name of collaboration. While Getz would ultimately make the final call, it became clear with every voice that this was a group decision, and in Chicago's case, the hardest part was neither player was a bad choice. That right there is ringing out to every young analyst, every young wannabe, future lead scout. Oh my God, if I go to that organization, if I sign up with those guys, my voice is going to be heard. I saw that article and 20 different voices in there. And MSS, you mentioned we've interviewed a bunch of those people that their voices were prominent in there. But there were a lot of people getting a chance to speak in that meeting and say things.
Yeah.
And if you're out there and you're looking for your next opportunity, this is just another example of Chris Getz really showing out and saying, look, getting other people to buy into what he's doing here.
Yeah.
A very prime usage of it. Now for the fans. He put this out there for the fans too. And MSS is, I'm glad you said what you said, because this shit was directly for the fans. It's the very last quote in the article. It says, you make a decision and you go with it, Getz said. You don't look back. Just fucking make it happen. And that's what we do. That's what we've done. And that's the White Sox. That's what we do. And that was a very definitive. Yeah, exactly. That was not a guy who is sourcing out all everything and he has no opinion on anything. No, that is a guy who is very sure of what the fuck he's doing. And he knows he put the right people in place to make the correct decision. And so that was for the fans to say, look, we have a GM who now is very sure of what he's doing in there. And so I thought the way this was played was absolutely fucking perfect. You very rarely give a sports franchise this much credit for doing such a good PR move right at the All-Star break, right at the draft. But believe you me, man, this was a nice spike the ball for me of the first 3 years of Chris Getz as the GM, as the anniversaries come up in the next couple of weeks. Excellent job by everybody involved here, even if it is a little bit of kayfabe, a little bit of dress up, Chorizy.
I just hope he doesn't start feeling himself and then change up what he's been doing. You know what I mean? He's like, well, now I'm just smart, so I can just go with it. Like I don't think he will, because I think he's going to lose some people in the front office to other organizations, and he's going to have to rehire and get some different people in there. But like, it's just everything's just coming up Getz right now, and it's just.
You think he's going to like start wearing Armani suits and becoming a huge douchebag?
I don't know.
Bruhan Luke puts in the comments. What I learned from this is that Jesse Rogers will have the first scoop on any trades at the deadline involving the White Sox. Not necessarily. Luke, what they wanted here was they wanted the megaphone. You needed the megaphone for this message right here. If you give this to, no offense to Merck, no offense to James Fegan, if you give this to either of them, it doesn't hit the wide audience that you need it to hit by putting it out on ESPN. ESPN is absolutely the place it needs to go. And no offense against any of them. This one is just like the biggest, widest megaphone. It's the right guy to report on it. Jesse Rogers is a very kind of no-nonsense, straightforward motherfucker. So coming from him is also a good person for it to come from. It was very well thought out, very well fucking planned, in my personal opinion. I thought they did a great job with this.
I did see a tweet today that said Merck was on the score today, and the first thing he talked about was Michigan. As soon as he got on air, it started talking about Michigan.
So, you don't put that on MLB.com. You put that on ESPN.
Might have a good point.
I don't think it's a mark on him. MSS. It's the outlet that they have, right? The MLB.com is not on par with ESPN in terms of audience.
For sure.
So that's
right.
That's
right. When you got Jeff Passan and everyone retweeting it, that's what you want. You want it fucking shoved out there for everybody to see.
MSS, how you doing tonight?
I think I'm doing okay. I'm all right. It's very smoky out there. If you maybe engaged in having a couple cigarettes last weekend when you were drunk, and then went outside and breathed, it feels very much similar, how your lungs feel the day after. But there was a bunch of things that happened this week, but I'm going to go with the craziest thing that happened to me in the last 2 days. I do a lot of selling of stuff on eBay, but I also do some Facebook Marketplace stuff. And I had a guy who's been trying for like 3 months to like get here to my house and look at my Chucky Robinson catching set, like the chest protector and the shin guards. This is all through Facebook Marketplace. And as I go in to check a message one day, it says, confirm your account to encrypt the message or to answer the message. So I click on it, because this is in Messenger. This is not like some random thing. I didn't get text or whatever. It's not like fill out this Google sheet with all your passwords.
I'm trying to win a
right within the thing.
Podcast.
Right. And and so I was like, okay. And so I do it, and they're like, please upload some identification. And the identification choices are wild. Like it goes from it goes from a driver's license, passport, all this stuff, to copy of the most recent electric bill, like these things, like all that. And I was like, okay, so I just have my ID on my phone. So I just, pop that open. I put it on there, click it, take a picture. It says this might take a couple minutes. It comes back and says, cannot confirm identity. Your account is suspended. You have 180 days to appeal this suspension and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I got this guy coming. It's been 3 weeks, and this is the only way that he can contact me. So I come downstairs and get on the desktop, and I'm like going through it. And they're like, okay, well, you got to confirm your email. You got to confirm your phone number. You got to confirm all this stuff through Facebook. It's all through
Bro's
Facebook.
identity is toast.
I'm like,
I
here
know.
we go.
I know.
But all this stuff is all like, I don't know about my ID. Like, it's just my driver's license number. It's not like my social or something. But anyway, I put it all in there again. And they're like, okay, well, you've submitted your appeal. We'll get back to you within 24 hours or whatever. It takes like 2 hours. And I'm back on, right? I'm like, all right, cool. This is great. So I'm back in the flow. And then I make like 3 messages. And then the next day, I get another message. I go to click it, and it goes, please confirm your identity. And I'm like, motherfucker, I just did this. And so I submit it again, and it goes, cannot confirm identity. You cannot be using this. You need to do this. I had to appeal again to Facebook to get back onto Facebook. 4 times it has made me redo this. And then today, it did it again.
Are you sure you're using Facebook?
I am 100% sure. But today was the best one because it's like, cannot confirm your identity. Please upload some of your ID. So I upload my ID again. And it goes, cannot confirm identity, but it doesn't suspend me. And so I can still see all my messages and see all this thing. At some point, the loop got shut. They figured it out. They're like, we've put this guy through a bunch of bullshit for however long. And I was like going, my account got hacked. I thought it got hacked. And I was like, I should just get rid of Facebook anyway. What's it matter? Like, I don't really need this. But I'm like, I sell a lot of stuff on Facebook. I can't lose Facebook right now. So
there are 30 mortgages with your name on it right now.
No, I don't think
Exactly.
So. Let's get a couple quick drinks
you
here.
Want my credit. I don't think you're
One from our guy Gordo. He says, cheers, boys. I miss hanging out with everyone. Cheers, Gordo. We miss you too, man.
We miss you too, bud. I talked to him today because there was some Howard Stern news. He's going down to 1 day a week.
I miss you, and I miss threatening pushing you down the stairs in your wheelchair. So I can't wait to see you and do that again.
And then our guy Kiri says, cheers to MSS back on the cig and beer train. More Saturdays like that. That was fun. That was fun.
He was in his glory watching
cigarettes,
that.
though. No more cigarettes. But
you only had a couple. You didn't do too bad.
I had 2.
Yeah.
And then I had one that the guy gave me, which is very nice. They gave me an extra one to take home. And I sweat through it, and it cracked, and I threw it in the bushes. So
that was just your body saying, I don't want this one.
Right.
It was just it was a reaction.
It heated itself up.
It's taking care. You were in autopilot. It took care of you.
I was definitely in autopilot. Chorizy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing
Facebook
good.
Problems?
Just a couple quick things, real quick. No Facebook problems. I'm never on that app,
okay,
so I don't really have many problems. It was the All-Star break, so Chorizy and I took in a couple of plays while we were there weren't games. I like to give shit to the White Sox for the way that they do all their entrance and all this shit. Going to these plays, these plays start at like 7, right? they open the doors at fucking 6:30. They expect to fill like 2,000 old people into their actual fucking seats in 30 minutes. It's bananas. Like, I don't like it never happens. The show never fucking starts on time. And like, this ain't going to see like your favorite band. And you're like, oh, of course they're 15 minutes late. They're probably drinking back there. No, this is like, they can't figure out what seat this person is in. So they're walking around and doing all this shit. It is unbelievably bad. And MSS, I think you and I always get mad about when people say, well, you should get there earlier. There's no fucking option to get there earlier for this. They don't open the doors. And these things are all downtown. So there's a huge fucking line of people on like a regular city street pouring into the street. And I'm just like,
sidewalk's only about 10 feet wide. You can't fit all the people out there. Like,
I was like 15 minutes earlier, you wouldn't have any of these problems. Trying to save 15 minutes on the probably $7 an hour they're paying these fucking ushers. Unreal. So that's one thing. The other thing is, I watched the home run derby. I thought the home run derby itself was very good. A very good competition. I like the way that they formatted it, because like you get to watch the home run ball, right? Or you get to watch the one come off the bat and the terrible announcer think that it's a home run, and then it lands like 4 feet past the infield.
That is so
bizarre. But here's the problem. Netflix, I don't have a big problem with the Netflix broadcast itself. It's just that they picked all the wrong people. The casting office for this was terrible.
It should be fun.
Yeah, because so first when they're announcing the guys, right, like to start, they had like Will Ferrell and a couple other guys, and they're doing like ad-lib comedy about these guys, right? They obviously had no fucking clue who any of them were. And it's like, you got to get younger.
Later on, we're going to do.
You got to get younger, hungrier dudes to do this. Like, you got to get a comedian that is like, it's make or break for him. He's got to be fucking awesome right here, and no one's ever going to hear of him, right? You need those guys in there. You need those guys because they're going to be good. They're going to study up. They're going to know everything about these players. They're going to bring up some weird shit from Twitter from 5 years ago, and like the internet's going to love it. So that's one thing. Then the other thing is you got Barry Bonds out there.
Yeah.
Which I fucking love it. Great. Someone's got the balls to put Barry Bonds on there. You put him with Albert Pujols. Come on, man. If you're going this way, you got to have him with like Canseco or McGuire or fucking
Canseco is busy.
Big Poppy or something where it's like another crazy electric person that absolutely did steroids. Like, I mean, I know Pujols did them, but they cover that shit up. So like,
he's a nice guy. Like, well, that's so what they did. They yin and yang that one, Chorizy. They put the nice Pujols is the nice guy right there, and then Barry Bonds, he's the villain. You know, they got them together. You know,
they're like the side thing in the lounge. Like, you don't need
Clemens. Pennant was nice.
You don't need the good cop, bad cop. You need bad cop, bad cop. If you're going to be edgy, if this is going to be something that people are going to fucking remember. And so that sucked, even though Barry Bonds was good. And then
McGuire and Bonds.
The cast, like, I think it was like Matt Vasgersian or something. I don't know. I just know his name, so I just throw him in there. Hopefully I didn't throw him under the bus for something he didn't do. But whoever's doing the play-by-play, especially now when they're letting the home run go the whole way, that motherfucker better be hoarse by the end of the night, because he should be screaming and yelling. As much as we all got sick of Berman, like, at least Berman had some personality to it. At least it was correct. You know, there was a home run call. It wasn't just like, that is a home run. Okay.
426.
No, you're right, Tracy. We got tired of the back and all that shit. But he would name like suburbs in that direction that the ball is landing near, right? No matter what stadium they were in. So he at least did his homework and kind of knew what the surroundings were and how to give a call. Yeah, you're right. You can't just put Joe Blow, regular fucking announcer guy in there that everyone's planning for there. Yeah,
it's not a regular play-by-play. Yeah, and then Anthony Rizzo is just terrible at everything. Like, I mean, him seeing Schwarber come up and being like, I can only think of him as a Cub. And it's like, well, they cut him. So I don't think he thinks that way. So, fuck, man. Like every person that they assigned was like the wrong. I will say Hunter Pence was okay. Hunter Pence was okay. Barry Bonds was okay. I guess the Giants showed out, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. It's first time all year. But yeah, that was my thoughts. I don't know if you guys had thoughts on the home run derby.
Chorizy, you mentioned the format. So the format did change. They didn't have the clock anymore. They had just the amount of swings. And so it was a slower pace. But you did get to actually watch the home run because it wasn't like, oh, there's 4 more pitches coming in. Well, that fucking ball's in the air because it's all time stuff. I kind of like that better than the previous way. But I didn't stay with it the whole way. I treated the entire All-Star weekend of I am only going to make sure I don't get FOMO'd here. So I'm going to watch when the White Sox are doing shit. So I made sure that I watched the first round when Mooney gets knocked out of the first round. I was out. None of the White Sox started the game. I didn't watch the beginning of the All-Star game. I picked it up once the boys were in there just to make sure I could see stuff, So that's how I treated the All-Star, but I'm glad you dove in a little bit here and really, analyze it because that
was the home run derby. The All-Star game itself, I watch the same way that I watch it every year. Not at all. MySoxSummer, you want to pay some bills?
So I was supposed to have something. So we're going to switch up the ads. I got to bring up my Mazda ad read. I don't have it on me right now. So we're going to switch it up. Okay. So is that okay?
Do whatever you want. This is your bit.
Available now in our merch shop at 108.ing/merch. We have a brand new selection of shirts. We have the Racerback tank with the 90s logo. We have the 90s logo on a soft style t-shirt. We have the home run third base guy. We have the 108 emoji. And we just added last week the Viva 108 108ing with the Mexican flag and Mexican colors. That is brown, a black heather, and a regular black. But we're not done because coming up very shortly, next week actually, we have celebrating 10 years of the Jersey Demolition. And that, if you don't know what Jersey Demolition is, that is when Chris Sale took a hunting knife to the jerseys that you see our man BeefLoaf and Chorizy in that card over there and cut them up so that he did not have to wear them. It set off the rebuild that then would fail spectacularly in 2021 and 22. Well, 22 and 23. And then we lost a bunch more games. But anyway, right up on 108.ing/merch. We have all the Jersey Demolition shirts. It is new for 2026. 10 year. We went blue instead of gray. Blue matches the stuff. But as you can see, there's a card on the left-hand side, and that contains a swatch of the actual skin-tight jersey that BeefLoaf was wearing at that game. Chorizy's is with one of our fans somewhere. Now, this card has been handmade by me, cut with the swatch right there and put in a plastic. This is I'm telling you, these have all different swatches of the actual uniform that I cut by hand and then stuck onto this card. And I did a lot of them at 4:00 this morning.
That's my game-worn jersey from that
game-worn jersey.
That's correct.
Now, I can't believe you got it off.
If you get
the guy that goes, brother, we're going to need someone to cut you out of that.
when you go to 108.ing/merch and you see this card, you can donate $10, $15, $20, 20 and 25. There's 4 different ways to do it. All money, all proceeds from this card are going to Lost Boys Inc. Just because we feel somewhat bad that we did not win the $5,000, and we're like, how can we give them some more money? So I made this on the back. There's Lost Boys is right there. We're going to give them all the money from all the sales of the cards. So if everyone gives $10 for all 49 cards, we got 500 basically, because I'm bad at math, but we're going to give them 500 regardless. But if you want to tip more, you can, or send more, you can do that. I will have them at the games next weekend. Whatever's left, whatever doesn't sell online, I will bring them to the park and you can buy them from me at the park. And we're at least donating $500 to Lost Boys. And I thought we should celebrate. Brewhan Luke was like, what do you have planned for the 10-year anniversary of Jersey Demolition? And I said, I don't know, but I'm going to do something. And I think this has just been like a great project. I'm glad Lowe still had that in his closet. So go check it out. If you have any questions, shoot us an email. But everything's
I'm glad there
available
was
right now at
anything left of it.
108. Huh?
I said, I'm glad there was anything left of it. I thought he would have burst out of it and combusted.
Well, Chorizy. I mean, it is like shredded now, right? Like I had to cut the front of the shirt.
Now I can wear it.
I was gonna use the Xfinity sleeve, and cut some of that, but that's all peeling off already. So I think that was from the arms. He's got those big manly arms. So yeah. But yeah, so go check it out, 108.ing/merch. There's a lot of new shirts up there. It's awesome. Very good reviews so far from everyone. They say the quality is great. The graphics are obviously great. But we've been getting some really good reviews on that. So go check out our merch store, buy something, and it ships rather quickly. So not as quick as me, but pretty quick. Thank you.
All right. It's time for some White Sox talk. I'd like to welcome to the show one of our favorite minds from White Sox Twitter. You've seen him here on this show, on the Ajou, on CHGO, on the Bearstown show, and of course at Cork and Carry. He was the horse before Brian Hudson, and we're very excited to talk trade deadline with him. Welcome to the show, Alex Rude.
Yeah.
What is up, Alex?
Doing good. How are you guys doing?
Terrific.
Awesome.
Excellento.
Oh,
All right. Well, we know the trade deadline is coming up August 3rd, 3 p.m. Let's get into like really quickly the rules and guidelines, because I think that, most people kind of pay attention to this kind of stuff, but there's a lot of details in it that have changed over like the past 6-7 years. So
yeah, definitely. I think the first one that Beef mentioned the agenda, the no rule for players players can be traded. Basically, the Trey Turner rule. When the year he was drafted, the Padres traded him in a deal later that year. It's a player to be named later. Other than that, this is before my time, like as an adult. Like it's been that long. The no more post deadline waiver trades, and that's been gone since 2019, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then the third one is the third wild card started in 2022. We'll talk about it more later on the effect it has on sellers. But yeah, that's also been like a big effect on the trade deadline.
I do miss the post deadline waiver trades. Those
The
were
old
always...
heads like those. Because after the deadline, which was a little earlier, if I remember correctly, maybe it was around this time. It was
earlier.
August trades, right? Okay, it was the trades that usually happen like in August, where that's how the White Sox got Alex Rios, right? Because he was put on waivers, and they claimed him to try to block him. And the Blue Jays said, you could just have him. It wasn't really a trade. They just sort of gave it to him. But you were able to, if guys cleared in that session, you were able to trade them. You cannot do that shit anymore. That shit is over.
But if they did clear, you could just bring them back. They were called revocable waivers, right? Like, so if they cleared and then like a team, or even if the team picked them up, like if a team grabbed them in the waiver claim, you could just say, oh, no, you can't have him. So it was a weird system. I miss it because it after your team didn't do shit, you could still hope that there was something on the horizon. But the Sox only ever did the Alex Rios move. But the trades have already started, Alex. The trades have already started. I want to get your thoughts on the Jacob Gonzalez, Brandon Iser trade for the number 34 pick, which now we see what it was used for.
Yeah, I think my first reaction was meh. I'll be honest, when I first saw the trade, I was kind of annoyed that they used Gonzalez as a trade for draft capital rather than helping the current team, not to mention the value he has filling in for any potential injuries that may come up, like he did for Murakami. You guys talked about the Jesse article already, but Jesse has been on ESPN this week saying that they truly believe Tommy would have been gone by the time they picked without the trade. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt being in the room. So if it really was the difference between Tommy and no Tommy, I guess I can understand it a bit more. But still, for Tommy, like almost with every MLB draft pick, there's going to be unknowns in his development and what he turns into. Maybe he can be good as Jacob Gonzalez is right now one day. I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it just leaves them short. It just leaves them short on the current roster, the depth. Because let's say I don't want to assume that this happens, but let's just say you need a first baseman, right? You really only have two right now. And we bringing up Ryan Delaney. Like that's where you're jumping to, right? Like so, or someone's going to play out of position.
Yeah, honestly, like it's a big hole to fill.
I think the rest of the infield, though, they kind of have the option to like bring in Antonacci, but even if you do that, you start to see the holes in the outfield. It's when you start to see the Junior Perez's getting way too many at bats. Like so, there's a lot. Like in terms of a team that's going for it, it's surprising to make a move like that.
Yeah.
Especially because it looks, as we're looking at it more, it kind of looks like some of it was just like you mentioned, Alex, the draft capital, more so than maybe that pick. Like trying to sign someone much later in the draft.
Yeah, Alex, you sound like you didn't believe that it was that. I think the Tomei thing sounds like a nice narrative, but it sounds like you didn't believe that. Do you think they needed more money for Rock? They needed more money for the kid they drafted. What was in the 11th or the 8th round or whatever? They had to give like over $1 million
honestly,
to.
Like it's total bullshit. They needed more money for Tomei. Like his dad works for the Sox right now. Like he will give him a sweetheart deal if like they really needed the money.
Yeah.
I think this is a plus. It's like we can have two nice little things happen here, right? And it makes us look good. And they're just cashing in all these chips, like all these good, like people look at it and like, hey, look at this. In the Jesse Rogers article, it's just everything's great right now.
Now, Alex, when we're looking at the team, and especially now that there's a little less depth, like what do you see as the biggest needs for the White Sox at this trade deadline?
Yeah, the answer here starts with the pitching staff, obviously, because both the rotation and bullpen need help if the Sox want to go anywhere in October. Priority number one is adding a starter, preferably someone they can trust to be part of their playoff rotation along with Davis and Burke. Even if they can't land one of the top rotation guys, at least they need to add somebody to eat innings on the stretch to help get them into the playoffs in the first place. We talked about it in the past couple of years when Hauser and Fetty were on the market. It's like you also need guys to eat innings along the way before October. The next need is straightforward, another bullpen arm to use in high leverage to make up for Tony's struggles. But besides the pitching staff, I think the other focus for the Sox at the deadline should be upgrading their bench. As of now, like objectively, the only bench bat for the Sox you can feel confident about is Grichuk. I know Acuna provides some value on the base paths and has been on a heater lately, but it's still been a lot to get from him all season to be objective. Meanwhile, Hayes and Pereira have been hurt all year, so I'm not sure how much you can count on them to stay healthy either. But of all the bench positions they can upgrade, I think adding another catcher should probably be the biggest priority. The Sox catchers have been god-awful this year, both offensively and defensively. As a group, I think they have like the lowest OPS in the sport. I think I was looking at Fangraphs today. Their collective WRC plus was 46. And to put top on that, like they had like among the worst defense as well. So unless they think Caro has turned the corner in his time in Charlotte, backup catcher probably should be on the to-do list outside of the pitching staff. So TLDR, basically the same list that Beef has tweeted like all month.
I was going to bring up my list because, you mentioned basically everything I said except for number 5, which is celebrity old head veteran who can charm the fans and we can wax nostalgic about them. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll get to be able to trade for the guy who I wanted, which was Justin Verlander. So he could bring his gorgeous wife, Kate Upton, and she could be in the stands around us. That was really my objective with number 5 there. So we'll scratch off number 5, but the rest of it, I agree with you. And yeah, the catcher too, I think to me is rising in prominence. I didn't realize that it would be, but like as we've watched this entire season, it's been brutal back there, as you mentioned, with the poor hitting and a poor defense too. I mean, like Drew Romo is okay, but not an ace back there, not a really good defender. And so there's no weapons basically behind the plate for this season, which is hilarious given that we came into the season like, man, we got 2 blue chip catchers. Which one are you going to use?
I got a fucking bobblehead.
Yeah.
They got and like Caro is just like disappeared. He is like totally disappeared. Like we haven't heard a word about him at all. Like, hey, things are going well. He's got his swing back. Nope, not one iota. He's on his way to Arizona. He should go to Arizona, just get fixed. because that you guys told me last week that's what you just got to do. Just send them to Arizona and they get fixed and they're fine. So let's just do that.
He can catch Christian Opera there. I think
is how big of a middle need to catch that dude?
the thing, the thing that Alex brought up is like the terrible OPS. Like you kind of expect that out of the catcher position, but you also then expect a ton of defense. Like you expect it to just be like, these guys just are there to play good defense. And when you're getting neither, it's a very bad scenario. So
it's rough.
I agree. I think that's something that I think they could easily upgrade, at least on the defensive side. And so I'm hoping that they do that. And it's pretty easy to just send Romo down and you're good. So that's something that I'm hoping they can do. But to do that, there actually needs to be teams who are going to sell to you. So Alex, when you look at the landscape right now, who's actually a seller right now?
We talked about the third wild card team earlier. It really has lowered the numbers of sellers at the deadline the past couple of years. All it takes is one hot stretch for a team to go from like bona fide sellers to potential buyers. When I first started thinking of names that for this pod like a month ago that I could bring up for targets, the Red Sox and the Marlins were two teams I thought were guaranteed to be sellers. But now the Marlins are firmly in the buyer category, with the Red Sox as like a true unknown on what they'll do. I mean, we got 2.5 weeks until the deadline, so there's so much that can happen between now to change everything. But as of today, I think there's like 7 clear sellers. You got the Royals, the Angels, the A's, the Mets, the Reds, the Rockies, and the Giants. Although I'll put an asterisk next to the Angels because you never know with Artie Moreno and how he runs things. So
it's true.
They've already got out ahead of it and said they're not trading Mike Trout. They've already. I don't know why you would even say that. I would just be like, everything's on the table, But they got ahead of that and said that's not going to happen. They famously didn't trade Ohtani, so they're willing to sit with whatever. It's a wild scenario there.
Yeah, they'll keep the superstars to sell the tickets. I mean, that's already kind of is a goofball like that. He always has kind of done that, and so not that surprising in my personal opinion. But although the contract,
I was there this year,
and he gets hurt, so like I don't know if you get anybody.
They're not selling tickets there. Just so you know, I was there.
There's just this year. A dozen of you guys and then the rats on the other side of the stadium. That's all you had out there, right?
It was like the rats from Princess Bride, though, so they took up a lot of space. It was fun.
Right.
But Paul Riker in the comments says, I bet Seattle trades Castillo soon. That domino will block other dominoes. Yeah, I mean, I was curious if I agree with Alex's list. And then I was just sort of thinking, like, there's going to be oddball shit that happens. So, like, Seattle is one of them. The Brewers will be involved. They're already involved in some bullshit, pulling in Lance McCullers Jr.'s salary, and he's still hurt. Like, there'll be some weird deals going on, but I think we nailed down who the real kind of like, hey, we got to get rid of our guys team.
No, yeah. With the lack of sellers, I think there will be like a third group that comes up is like the contenders who are willing to trade with other contenders to address needs, aka the Poto tier teams. Like, as you guys know, you can't ever count out Jerry the Poto when it comes to making trades, which is why he's the GOAT. So like he will flip Castillo in a second if it helps like with the team as well. Like,
yeah, they have a ton of pitching too. So like at least starting pitching, they're hurting in the relief area, but like the starting pitching is deep there. They do have some left-handed hitting. They need right-handed hitting. There's a lot of opportunity for Dipoto to strike. Who else are you putting on the list that you think might end up being sellers or might be the like you noted, like contenders that are willing to trade?
Yeah, I think like it eventually, like for contenders that willing to trade, it's like been the benchmark of the Rays. But eventually, like in the next couple of weeks, I think you can add in the Nats, the Orioles, I think the Tigers, and eventually maybe the Padres as well as the Red Sox. The last two are pretty unknown just because with their front offices are very like wild cards. Preller usually tries to make big splashes, and then Breslow is considered to be on the hot seat. So we'll see what happens there.
The team I was looking at, Alex, what do you think about the Blue Jays? The Blue Jays are coming out of the break, going their first 7 out of the break are White Sox and Rays. 4 against the Rays. Is that a team that, they've got some expiring contracts, like, and nothing like crazy because you're not trading Shane Bieber, but they got Gaussman, they got Springer, Jimmy Garcia. They're free agents next year.
Yeah, I had them on my list initially. Then I realized they're only like 2 games out of the wild card. So just like with how bad the AL is, it's like there's very slim pickings with the Sellers.
Yeah, they're close. I think the thing is, if they get housed in division, could they become a seller?
Yeah, definitely. If they do end up losing the first couple of series out, they would be a very interesting seller. But just like coming off a year where they were in the World Series, like a couple like plays that went their way, I'm not sure if they will have the balls to actually like sell and like tear things down a little bit.
That does seem ballsy, right up here in the World Series. Oh yeah, we got all this money in for the playoffs. Guess what? We're shipping all these motherfuckers out here. Yeah, that does seem a little bit crazy.
Season tickets.
Watch these scrubs in the second half. You mentioned the Red Sox. I would think the Red Sox, even when they were a little further back, I know they got hot as a pistol. I still would have thought that they would have been trying to cobble together something, given that the GM is in a rough spot there, and that they kind of like they dumped off Devers. They kind of cleared themselves up here. They need their young guys to get hot. They need the young hitters to start hitting. But I would have thought the way they're pitching that they would just plow through it, push through it, and actually buy something. So interesting to see them get hot and now be in the position where, okay, they're kind of in the playoff spot, the race right now. It would have been more interesting though if they were further back.
Yeah, definitely. Like that win streak completely changed everything for them.
I was just wondering, like, is there like a team, like, are some of the teams and owners then with the impending like potential lockout and not playing baseball in 27, like, does that make a team more willing to get rid of people or hang on to people because they just don't know what's going to happen?
Honestly, not sure about that one. I think they'd be more willing to hold on to people just because like there's going to be like disputes on like service time for the year,
Yeah.
Like if there is like knock on wood if they do miss games.
Yeah. Because if they institute a floor and you just like gutted, your top guys, and then you're like, well, now I got to go out and spend all this money on these people. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know. I'm just thinking about that. That's definitely the weed in the brain from a couple days ago coming back up. And it's like, hey, let's think deep about this.
I think something interesting on the 2027 is like watching how GMs look at a guy who has just this year versus this year and next year and see the variance between what they're giving, what they're getting for guys like that to try and gauge how much they really believe there's going to be a season or a full season next year. So we might see some guys that like they have an extra year of control, and either the team's like, well, I don't think we're going to be very good next year, and I wonder how much next year is going to be. That might not really impact the price to have that extra year. So that's something that I'm just going to keep an eye on as they go. I have no idea if anyone's going to actually handle their business that way.
Yeah.
One team that I was looking at, and you mentioned, Alex, is the Nats. Like I was like, okay, they're starting to fall. They don't really have the pitching to do what it looks like they're attempting to do, but they come out of the break against the A's and the Rockies. And I'm like, are they going to fool themselves into being too close to sell and just not really do much at the break?
I think like any other year, if it wasn't the first year of their front office, they would like buy in. But I feel like the front office came in with the plans like we got to think long term. So that's why I have them on the sellers list, because I thought the same thing looking at their schedule.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And it does bring up a good point that like some of these teams are either ahead or behind schedule. And so there's a lot. Beef, you're talking about the Red Sox. They're behind schedule.
They're behind schedule right now, yeah. The win streak helps, but they're behind schedule.
They kind of need to do something. And then teams like the Nats, maybe even the Marlins to some extent, are a little ahead of their schedule. The Cardinals, for sure, are ahead of schedule. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Cardinals might be a team that just do nothing, which is it was supposed to be a source of players for everybody else. And it's like they might just sit pat. They might not do anything. The Nats might be in a similar category where maybe they'd let off like a couple lean pieces. So like, I don't know, man. It's shaping up to not be entertaining at all. And I'm a little worried about that.
The Nats are a team, like when you look at the roster, it's a lot of good a lot of hitters that are popping that are young, that they have a lot of control over. They're not going to trade any of them guys. And like you mentioned, Chorizy, the pitching's horrendous. They have a couple guys that are popping up and pitching a little well, but they got control of those guys too for longer term. So you're like, I don't know. Do you turn around and dump those guys at the deadline when you're doing so well? It's an odd situation. Agreed.
And you even look at the Reds and you're like, oh, well, what's going on with Chase Burns? Oh, here's 11 years for Chase Burns or whatever they just gave him. So
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I mean, like the supply is very small. The demand is heavy, but the supply is very small. With that said, though, Alex, give us some trade ideas. Give us some guys that you think could move.
I'm interested in this.
You think come to the Sox?
Yep.
Yeah. If you paid attention to what the quote unquote insiders had talked about the White Sox plan for the deadline, it seems like the Sox will add, and their main targets are going to be trying to be like guys with multiple years of control. Unfortunately, like we said, like how things are trending with the sellers, there aren't really any like options for controllable players. They'll likely have to settle for rentals, starting with potential arms they can add. I'll start with one potential controllable arm. I think the first name you'll hear about in the coming weeks, and have already seen a lot on the timeline about it as a trade option, is Reed Detmers. The numbers may not look the sexiest on the back of the baseball numbers with an ERA of about 4.4, but his expected ERA is about a run lower, and he has shown flashes of this year why he probably will be the most in-demand starter at the deadline this year. That is, if Artie sells. He had like an 8-start stretch earlier this year when he was pitching out of his mind, shutting out teams like the Dodgers and the Rays, 2 playoff teams. Detmers fits the Sox needs to a T. Not only can you make him see him making a playoff start, but he's under control for multiple years. I think 3 more years. And he's been somebody that's been linked to the Sox constantly, all the way back to when he was drafted in 2020. Like I said, he'll be in demand, so the cost is going to be high. But if they want to be aggressive, he makes a lot of sense.
Chorizy, you'll like this. Detmer so far this year, 27.2% K rate, only 7.7% walk rate. Like that's the kind of guy that you put right at the front. You put right at the front of the rotation there. Left-handed pitcher. Alex is right. They do have 2 more years of control, so it'll be an ARB 4 in 2028. He's a Super 2 guy, so it'll be ARB 4 2028. So he doesn't make very much money just yet. Obviously, that'll escalate should he be so good. He's a hot girl. He's one of the hot girls at the dance, Alex. What do you think is like the chances of? I've mentioned this online a little bit and on a couple podcasts. You know, the trade deadline is almost like a church bazaar. Whereas, like the offseason is the also swap-a-rama. You know, it's like a bigger market. Yeah. There's more people. Do you think, like, if the demand is high, that they'll pull back sort of White Sox Garrett Crochet style and look to deal in the offseason instead, or would the the potential lockout be a deterrent for that? And maybe we will get a little more dealage at the deadline.
I honestly don't think the lockout or off season will be like much of a factor. It's going to be like whether Artie signs off on trading it. To be honest,
yeah.
Like we talk about Jerry like being very involved, but Artie is a whole nother level. Like he never really signs off on trading controller players. So that's why I have like the qualifier earlier.
They have an interim too, right? Right? Like they fired their GM. So like they got an interim in there.
They have Mozeliak that was fired by the Cardinals last year.
Yeah, that's right. Dale says swap around on Ashland. Yeah, Dale, Chorizy and I have gotten our hair cut there before in the past when we were kids. So I know that swap around. I just think the other one's bigger. So
Dale also hit us with a drink. So cheers, Dale. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
You, appreciate you, my friend.
All right. Give us another one.
Yeah, the next guy I want to highlight as a potential target is a pitcher in the division from the Fighting Benettis. No, it's not Tarek Skubal, but it's Casey Mize. He's a pending free agent, so a rental, so the cost shouldn't be too high outside any in-division tax. The former number 1 overall pick, his career of many like ups and mainly downs, but he's finally starting to pitch like the guy he was supposed to be. Like Detmers, he's someone you could count on to be a part of your playoff rotation. He's got a 2.8 ERA on the year with an expected ERA right in line with that. I know Comerica is like known for being a pitcher-friendly park, but he's got a 3.11 ERA on the road. Shout out Jim. So I think the numbers will translate well regardless where he pitches.
So with that one, Alex, do you think that the Tarek Skubal domino has to fall first for the Tigers? Like, does someone have to blow the Tigers out of the water and say, we want Tarek Skubal, we're willing to pay this? That trade happens. Because when that trade happens, they've given up on the season, right?
Yeah.
Like, so do you think until they're blown away, until Skubal is being traded, that they're just going to keep saying like, hey, let's try and make the playoffs?
Yeah, honestly, I think for the Tigers, like the only thing that keeps them like wanting to keep Skubal is like them keeping like within range in the division. So if the Sox come out hot, or if Cleveland comes out hot as well, and like we are able to gap them, I think they just blow it all up and trade everybody. But like if they're within range, I think they keep both. I just kept Mize as a guy in here just because I thought the Tigers would sell, and I couldn't think of any other options, to be honest.
It's an expiring contract too, so it works perfectly, right? Because it's going to roll off at the end of the year. So, Chorizy, you're right. Like if Skubal goes, this, Casey Mize is 100% going. He's going.
They're blowing up.
Yeah.
And one of the pitching slots is gone, right? I mean, like, so like you think like there's going to be other teams moving pitchers. So, because there's a bunch of guys that are on expiring contracts. So it could be a thing where it's like, if the Sox wait around and catch some of these guys, like a Casey Mize or someone, it might come at a price that they're willing to pay. And I think that's why I like this one a lot. They're not going to go after Skubal. I think that the Detmers thing is going to even be very difficult. But I like this. This seems like in a range that the Sox could strike.
Yeah. I'm looking at his baseball reference page. He is listed at 6'3", 212. There ain't no way in hell that guy is 212. All right. If you're 6'3", 212, you're like a twig. This guy's wearing like fucking size 44 waist. Man, this is bullshit. You can't be telling me that this guy is no, I'm pointing at
Ken W in the comments says, I might be going to Allsop swap around this Saturday, baby. Maybe I can find Detmers for Bonham table. And Timothy Meyer says, Jesus, Mize is a free agent already? Getting old. I was thinking the same thing. When you were like, so he's going to be a free agent, and I looked it up, I'm like, fuck, man. That went by fast.
All right, lay another one on us.
Okay, so if the Red Sox sell, another arm that makes a ton of sense for the Sox is Sonny Gray. He bounced back big time after a rough 2025, limiting the home runs much better than he did the previous 2 years, and it showed in his 2.5 ERA this year. He would slot in right near the top of their Sox rotation if they added him. The only downside here is the money left on the deal. But I think it was Bob. You can trust him with White Sox information that who reported a couple weeks back that the Red Sox would be willing to eat the money down for a team like the White Sox and pay part of his salary in the mutual option, which would make it much more realistic if true. And if that is the likely scenario, I think he makes a lot of sense.
I would like Sonny Gray. I wonder where the Sonny Gray, like where he slots in the rotation, because I feel like he's at this point in his career, I don't know, is he like the third guy or is he behind Anthony Kay?
Oh no, I mean he has a 2.5 ERA, Chorizy.
Right now,
Current Sox rotation, he probably slides behind Burke in a playoff rotation.
I would think so, yeah.
It goes Burke, Gray, and Martin.
And Martin, yeah. I think that's probably right.
Yeah.
It's been uneven with Sonny Gray. I know he's doing great right now, but like, so I'm just kind of wondering where you'd put him. But yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, a high walk rate helps in our ballpark. Like he kind of does fit. You're right. the contract kind of funny. Like he's owed 25, or he's owed 30 million next year in a mutual. So that I don't know how that breaks down, like buying out of that. There must be some buyout going on there. So yeah, I guess they would take some money in that spot there.
Big Daddy Ish has got the money. We don't need to worry about that. He can put the money out there. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
But
now, Alex, you had mentioned Detmers. What about his rotation mate, Jose Soriano? I haven't seen much buzz about Soriano, and they seem to be in similar positions where Soriano is, he'll be ARB 3 in 2028. So they're kind of like in the middle of the ARB process. He's not as good as Detmers. I'm not like, he doesn't have the cachet as Detmers and the prospect pedigree, but he's been good. And, I'm curious. I haven't heard shit about him really out in this market yet.
Oh yeah, I thought about him too, but like you said, like he's not as good as Detmers, and he just really had that hot start to the season. It's kind of like tapered off since then. I think maybe like if you can't come to a deal with Detmers, he could be an option, but like I said, with Artie, you can never know. So I just want to include only one Angel on the list. But if Soriano does make a lot of sense, if they're actually willing to do like a full teardown.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Throw another one at us.
Okay, so now we're moving on to the less flashy options. So we talked about the Nationals earlier. Another option would be Fox or Griffin. He's basically been their ace, just like Eric Fetty and Anthony Kay. Griffin is another guy who went to pitch overseas and has reinvigorated his career. I think he signed a one-year deal this winter and has been a revelation for the Nets this year at 2.7 ERA. And was their all-star, although he may be a little too home run prone to trust in your playoff rotation with a 1.4 home run per 9. I think that would have been one of the more higher numbers on the Sox. He's a pitcher that you can trust every 5 days down the stretch to give you a quality start. I think he's got like a 2-month streak of quality starts going right now. So I think like if you need a guy that will eat innings and can get you to the playoffs, he's an option for the Sox.
Man, quality start, meaning going 6 innings as part of that. Yeah. That's very attractive. Like I don't know how often we see that these days. So on the South side, I'm saying, but yeah, I would take a lot of 6-inning starts. I think our bullpen would appreciate that quite a bit.
Automatically approve them. It's good bifurcation too. The guys that help you get to the playoffs, the White Sox need those guys, and then the guys that help you win in the playoffs, they also need them. So like. Either one works in my book, and like especially for a team that's young like this, to get to the playoffs, someone to pick up the slack there, pick up some innings sounds great to me. And you're right, the cost is low. It's just a matter of if the Nats leadership believes maybe we can get lucky and get in the wild card spot. Now the NL's harder than the AL. The AL's a jumbled mess. The Nats are still tackling in. I think they're 1 game under 500, something like that. But they have a tougher road to go.
Yeah, I think there's some teams that are like the Marlins have to be breaking the Nats spirit a little bit, but with the hot streak that they're on. So hopefully that continues and we get a seller out of the Nats. It's just, man, this third wild card is just terrible. Just terrible for the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Alex, do you have any other ones you want to get into?
Okay, so last pitcher. Yeah, last pitcher on my list. I got 2 more. Last pitcher on my list. Similar to Griffin that can help eat innings the rest of the way is Robbie Ray. He's been a relative bright spot for the Giants, which has been a rather miserable year for them. Some are saying that it's the Fernelli effect. I'll let you think about that. After
I agree.
A rough start to the year. After a rough start to the year, Ray has started to figure things out with another 2.5 ERA over his past 9 starts. He's the same guy he was years ago, but he's a veteran arm that can bring some certainty to the back end of the rotation that needs it. Although, like Sonny Gray, if this happens, the Giants are probably going to need to pay down some of that salary.
Now, MySoxSummer.
Yeah.
Are you okay with a pitcher that wears his pants extremely tight on the mound? Are you okay with this? Are you feeling it? Yeah. Myers in the comments already.
Damn. Like, how tight are these pants? Like extremely tight? Like, am I seeing veins? Or
Let
are
me
we
see if I
like,
can.
let's see.
Let me see if I can get an image for you.
I'm gonna bring it up here.
But Alex, I definitely had Robbie Ray on my list too. As Robbie Ray's owed like $10 million more for the year. His salary for 2026 is $25 million. And I was kind of like, this might be one of those ones where you get him for just like absorbing most of the money. Like you throw a non-prospect at them and say, okay, take the guy. And like that's a nice kind of deal to like fatten up the rotation here, especially if the plan is kind of like move Eric Fetty out of here for sure. That's maybe a guy who just eats innings, and he has eaten a bunch of innings. That's 106 innings pitched already.
Yeah,
there you go. MSS.
I'm looking at those. Yeah, I'm looking at some other pictures here. They look at, like, it makes his lower half looks abnormally weird because the pants are so tight. Like there's no room, and so you like this butt, and then like the way the legs are, it looks photoshopped. Yeah,
perhaps they could play it to their advantage.
Listen. The way that he can come in and pitch, though, I'll take that all day. So like, why not? Like we gotta do what we gotta do. We all have to make sacrifices. I'll make sacrifices. Look at Moose Knuckle all day, so we'll be good.
Uncle Ted has been adamant in the comments the entire time that the White Sox take on Luis Castillo. Now he's throwing Kevin Gossman in there. If the Blue Jays trade,
yeah,
so if you're taking money,
it's tough.
You're taking money. Take these guys on, is Uncle Ted's thought. We saw Castillo earlier in the year when the Mariners were trying to like rehab him. They were putting him in the bullpen, and he was the one who actually blew the game that they won in Seattle because they tried to make him pitch an extra inning, and then they gave up the run there, and the White Sox beat him. Castillo was a motherfucker back in the day, and he's now fading out, kind of like 6 starter range pitcher these days in Seattle. So curious to see. He might be a quick mover, Chorizy.
Yeah, I mean, he might also be cooked. And that's what you got to worry about. Like, I feel like the Mariners wanted to move him to the pen, and they did all kinds of weird shit to try and avoid it too, to like keep him happy. But like, it's like, oh, we're gonna do 6-man rotation. We're gonna do the stacked starters and stuff. So like
piggybacks.
It's a weird situation out there. So I think they'd be willing to do it. I definitely think Dipoto would be willing to move him. The value you get out of him will be interesting, and we'll see who gets it. Hopefully the Cubs get him and he stinks. That would be great.
No.
Love that call.
All right. Alex, who's next up on your list?
Okay, moving on to bats. I think a backup catcher option that makes a lot of sense is Luis Torrens for the Mets. It came up today that like they're basically open to hearing on everyone. He's an elite defensive catcher, probably one of the best defensive catchers in the sport. The Sox catchers have been bad enough this year that his 600 OPS would be leading the team last time I checked. He's under contract next year as well for like a reasonable like $5.5 million. And acquiring him would give you certainty for next year on the defensive side. I don't think it would cost much, and he would be a big improvement over what the Sox currently have.
This is the one on the list that I love the most. I had it written down in my notes too, because to me, this has become a big need for the White Sox. And even if you believe in kind of Kyle Teal going forward, it's still like you do need that veteran stalwart who is a terrific defender to backstop this whole thing. As you know, Kyle Teal is a little bit more of a bat than he is anything else. And and the Mets have Francisco Alvarez already, so they have their like a franchise catcher in tow there. So it should be easy for them to move on from that. But I would imagine there's others looking for a player like this. But I think this is like the absolute best fit on the position player side for the White Sox. I would be fine if they barreled for this guy. I think this is like a really good player that would solidify this roster this year and into the near future.
Yeah, I wonder
with the reliever.
Oh, go ahead, Alex.
Oops, sorry. I was saying with the relievers the Mets have to sell. With the relievers the Mets have to sell, you can like combo right there and get 2 needs for one with one trade.
Yep, absolutely.
The thing I wonder about with Torrens is the contract. Are the Sox, because like I want to believe that the Sox still have some faith in Caro and they think that next year Caro will be part of the team. Torrance is owed like over $5 million next year, I think. So it's got that would be the only part that I would like. I could see the Sox hesitating on to say that they would not go for that. But I agree, it's a good fit, and like I can't count on Carroll being back next year. Like, there's nothing that tells me that that's 100% going to happen. So I feel like they've been willing to cast aside somebody if that's what happens. And like I don't know that $5.5 million or 5.75, whatever it is more than they'd be willing to do that for. But like that's the only thing in the Torrance one that catches my eye.
Chorizy, you got to remember though that a player, especially who has multiple years of control, and I think he is controlled through 2028. Torrance, like he's signed through then. They have disposition value too. So not only can you trade from now, you use them as long as you need them. If you have guys coming up, you can retrade them, right? You get something out of them in the back end, and so like that's where the non-expiring guys do have some additional value. Should you feel like might need to pivot out of this, like our guy Uncle Ted in the comments. I know he's a big Boston Smith fan. He said he's coming. He's going to be the first player from the 2025 draft to debut. And he torched high A after he got here in the Curtis Meade trade, and then he's hitting a bunch of home runs in Birmingham right now too. So who knows? But we need help right now, and that's the key with this. Like you can see what's coming, but you need help immediately. And so, like out of the list of catchers, right-handed hitting catchers that are good defenders, this is the man. This is the list, as they would say in Ocean's 11 when they're looking for a grease man. This is the list right here.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a defensive-minded catcher. On these crappy teams that we're looking through, like Tyler Heineman might be the next guy up, but he's up there with a wiffle bat, man. So like it's like you totally give up any type of hit tool, and he's like 35 too. So like that's the kind of thing like these are the guys you're looking at now. This is the range that you're going into. So I would love Torrance. I think that would work. All right. Any others, Alex?
Last guy, we talked about needing a first baseman that could hit lefty pitching. That's right. Andrew Vaughn, bring him back. I'm just kidding.
No. Alex, I'm willing to give you a lot of room on all these other ones. And I'm saying he knows what he's talking about, but you just lost me. You lost me right there because, listen, as Sam Antonacci has proved,
BeefLoaf reaction.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey.
You got me.
No, we can't do that, guy. No,
Alex, for the right-handed back, can we do BeefLoaf always gets his guy, and we get Eugenio Suarez?
Oh, he might be barbecued.
He can still hit lefties
For his that was my thought for BeefLoaf's tweet about old guy that could get attention. Suarez was first in my mind.
That's a good choice.
No thanks.
We talked about the Mets pen for a second there. That's one interesting thing to me that because they paid Devin Williams a lot of money and he stinks, but they got other guys in that bullpen that are good. Like they got Luke Weaver out there, Brooks Raley. They have some others,
AJ Minter.
Oh, how old? I know Brooks Raley is the oldest one. Brooks Raley is,
Minter's been around for a while.
Yeah. I think they're 60 and 61, if I recall. Maybe 35 and 38, but who's counting?
Close enough.
But
exactly.
But I think that's an interesting group there because if I'm the Mets, that's exactly where I'm trading from because they always get relievers are always overpriced at the deadline. This is the one time they're overpriced. And so I'm kind of wondering, what do you guys think? Like the Mets, are they going to turn over a lot of this bullpen in this one trade deadline?
They should.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see a reason why you wouldn't. You're in a terrible position here. You're board locked to a lot of your roster regardless because of how much they make, right? I saw something, they'll listen on Francisco Lindor. No one's buying Francisco Lindor's contract. Let's just be honest with ourselves. He's staying put, whatever. But the guys that you can get that are more liquid, yeah, you got to get them out of here and start turning the thing over, and adjusting there. You're going to have guys age out. They signed, Marcus, or they traded for Marcus Semien. They signed Jorge Polanco. Those guys will kind of age off the roster a little bit, but and make way for some of the younger players. But yeah, why wouldn't you? It's the best currency at the trade deadline is the relievers. You might as well trade them all.
Polanco cannot hit. Polanco's talking about guys that might be toast. Polanco looks like he's toast. That was quite other one. MSS, you got anything you want to bring up with Alex?
No, I was working on trying to trade fans, and I was like, I wanted to trade some fans of our team to another team or whatever, and it started to get really like it felt mean. And it felt wrong. And Josh Nelson would have been the first one gone. I was going to trade him for James Fegan. Maybe see if I can get James Fegan down there. Maybe he'd be a little more fun and more interactive. But no.
Who are we trading with there?
Just get him out of it. Bring in a different one.
Chorizy, I'd love to throw some ideas at Alex if we got some time.
Where he trades.
I think we do have some time. Beef, you want to throw something at Alex?
I want to throw a couple at Alex here. People that weren't mentioned. Number one, we talked about the Reds, but we didn't discuss any trades with them. And I had sent Chorizy a Joshian newsletter from a few weeks ago, where it was a Reds fan complaining about how bad their hitters have been, and saying that apparently there is some ethos there that they changed. They wanted these guys to stop pulling the ball in the air. And something related to Terry Francona, they want the guys to hit the ball the other way. And so Joshian looked up some of the data, and that they are in fact, yeah, exactly. 300, fuck the home run, right? That type of shit. And apparently they are doing that. They are hitting the ball the other way, and it's like ruining all these young hitters. Like everyone is regressed a little bit. So the guy who I was looking down the list. I was like, could Guts make a trade that's not for this year? That's for the future. Someone that they think they could work on, throw the person in the minors. They've got minor league options, put him in the Ryan Fuller lab. And I got Noelvi Marte, who was the top prospect. He's got a 64 WRC plus. He's been horrible this year. And like just getting a power hitting guy back on track is worth so much. And I was just curious, you think Guts will have the mind to like say, look, we're at the church bazaar. Let's do some different shit here. Maybe grab a guy that we intend to put in Charlotte.
Yeah, when I was looking at potential candidates, like the Rays, like all their guys struggling, it was like, but it would be like them selling low. That's why I didn't think it was realistic.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like true. Apparently, like he was supposed to be like the headliner for a Robert trade, and now he's just been awful since.
Yep. Yeah. True that.
It's two of them. Both of them.
How about this? How about this idea, though? The White Sox do need or could use a right-handed hitting guy who could cover center field, bench player. And we mentioned the Royals are definitely selling. What about Lane Thomas? Not a great defender, but a lot of speed, high walk rates, and someone that would like fit nicely, expiring contract, so he's out here after this year, but would take the Derek Hill spot. And now you wouldn't have to fuck around with that at all.
Oh, yeah. He makes a lot of sense. Like, and for the White Sox and Royals had like traded at the deadline before the Paul DeJong trade. I'm a Sixers guy. Like basically, it's like the White Sox are the buyer in that part of the trade this time. It wouldn't cost anything. It would probably cost like a minor league reliever. That would make a lot of sense.
Am I thinking of the right guy? Was Lane Thomas with the Nats at one point? Because I feel like I traded. I feel like I traded for him in one of the off-season plans one time. So like I'm obviously in. I'm obviously in.
Yeah, and one more. Let me throw one more at you here. And we didn't mention the Athletics because the Athletics don't have much pitching. But I was looking at Mark Leiter Jr. That's a name from the past. And seeing why wouldn't the White Sox take a shot on him? Now, he's an older reliever. He doesn't have a huge K rate or anything, but I was just kind of like, they could use just one more stable right-handed arm. I don't know that maybe in the reliever market he would cost a lot, but what about taking a shot at kind of like not one of the top guys, but kind of a guy behind the guy?
No, yeah, I'd be in for that. And it's just like when I was going through this, like I thought of like teams that Guess has traded with before, because he is like throughout his tenure, he has his favorites that he's traded with like a bunch of times. I don't think he's ever like made a trade with the A's before, but like if Leiter is available, and it makes a lot of sense.
Why not? The reliever I looked at, Beef. He's a starter. He's a starter right now with the Rockies. Is Michael Lorenzen, and put him into a little bit of a swing role, but then also right-handed bat off the bench. That's the real idea.
I was just about to make that joke. Yes.
You can cover some outfield spots as well for you. Whatever you need there.
Don't worry if Pereira's hurt. We got Michael Lorenzen out there. It's gonna be fine.
The last weird thought that I had about the deadline was, the White Sox should have Austin Hayes coming back. Do you think that Getz would get freaky and potentially trade Randall Grichuk? I kind of like those thoughts. You're gonna have kind of the same guy here pretty soon, healthy. Hayes makes $7 million. Randall Grichuk don't make shit. I was like, could he possibly flip him? He won't flip for much, obviously, but it's like, why did he trade that guy? The guy was hitting well, but some team might want Randall Grichuk.
I can give you the buyer. The buyer is the Mariners. The buyer is the Mariners. If that's the trade, that's definitely. They're looking for right.
There we go. We're set.
Oh my God! And your confidence in Hayes coming back is beautiful, Beef.
I saw him run in the rain like 2 weeks ago, and to me, he's healthy. Almost.
It's like the kid that's like, my dad's going to be back from getting those cigarettes any minute now.
God damn you.
All right, Alex, any parting thoughts on the trade deadline?
Nothing on the trade deadline. Just another happy birthday to our guy Gabriel.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Hell yeah, Gabriel.
Happy birthday, Gabriel.
That was
all right, Alex.
The other night.
That's all I have.
Appreciate you jumping in, man.
Thank you, Alex.
It's a lot of fun.
Of course.
We'll talk very soon. Hopefully, we see you at the park.
Yes.
In short order.
Of course.
All right, man. Talk to you soon. Thank you, Alex.
Friend. Appreciate it.
I'm worried about this trade deadline. Like I feel like this trade deadline is going to be extremely boring. Like I think.
Now, Tracy, let me ask you this about boring for the deadline. If there's a lot of activity, that won't be boring to you, correct? Even if it's not a big name or big names. Or where do you draw the line at boring? Like that's where you get. Let's get to it.
That's the thing, man. Like if there's a bunch of moves like this McCullers one that was the other day, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, that doesn't move the needle at all. Even if there's 10 of those in a day, I'm just kind of like, these all happened. Like, there's not like a lot to talk about. And so I don't know. I mean, like, if it's a bunch of like relievers getting swapped around, I think that'll still be a little bit interesting, right? Because you're going like, okay, well, this changes this bullpen, and now this guy moves to this spot, and blah blah blah. I think there could be some interest there, but like, I mean, I'm just like, this is all on the Sox, to be honest. This is all on the Sox and the Guardians. They need to bury the Tigers, or there's no trade deadline. You could just like the Sox have failed to separate from the Guardians while Ramirez is out, and so now I'm like, you guys need to separate from the Tigers because we're not going to have no fun trade deadline if you don't do that. So it's one of those things. It's like, and Uncle Ted's mentioned a few times the Orioles. The Orioles are still like one of these teams that are too close to trade right now, and like people need to get knocked out of this, but it doesn't. It's not necessarily going to happen, right?
It hasn't happened yet. Yeah,
like if the Rays sweep the Jays this week, like this coming weekend, I believe, in a 4-game set. Well, now we might not have another buyer, right? Like the Jays might be out there selling. Right. And so that's the kind of things that need to happen. But like, if all these series are getting split and like teams are playing bad teams, like we might end up with like 7-8 sellers. That's nothing, man. Especially if they're really shitty teams, they got no one to sell.
Well, that's the thing. I was looking at the A's. The A's don't have hardly anything to sell. That's why I brought up Mark Leiter Jr. I was looking at this roster. I'm like, well, either they have a lot of young players, hitters and stuff that they're not going to move, young pitchers that they're not going to move, or they have old stuff that's no good. that no one wants. Like you get to that point when you're a bad team like that, especially a young team, where you just don't have the parts at all, nothing to pass on to anyone else. And Chorizy, you mentioned like the next week or two is going to decide a lot. It's tough to do. Like people have been talking about the trade deadline for a fucking month now, and I'm like, I don't even know who's going. We still don't know who's going off these teams at this point.
Everybody's still talking about the Twins. They're like, everybody's got like Joe Ryan #1 on the list, and it's like they're like 2-3 games out of the wild card. Like, why are they trading? So,
yeah, Paul Riker, and I think I saw Uncle Ted say it too, rightfully so. Severino, Severino could go to another team. In fact, I thought Severino was going to go to another team last year. He seemed a little disgruntled. We'll see.
I wouldn't want to pitch in that park either.
No, like I'd imagine the splits are wild for him.
I wonder what you were saying with the guy from the Reds, Loaf. Like if maybe we got Getz and Co. out there analyzing some of these guys and they see a simple fix. Like is Fuller out there saying, hey, listen, if you get me this guy, I think I could do this, and then conversely,
so. Yeah,
I would hope that like a Brian Bannister could finally show up with somebody that is worth a shit. That's what I need. I need him to find something out of the rough and to say, look at this amazing thing so that he can save his fucking job. Because my Lord, I tell you what, they gave him the money.
Well, hey, maybe
you brought Tone.
Maybe he's behind Brian Hudson. Who knows?
Yeah.
Sir Anthony comes in and maybe that's true. Yeah. That's true, right? But they also gave him the bag for Sir Anthony, and that has not worked out well.
Yeah, it's not a good one. I don't know.
So hopefully they got some unique outside the box ideas, as the kids say. Outside the box.
Uncle Ted wants him to fix Castillo.
I would love it.
I like Luis Castillo. I don't want to make it seem like I don't like Luis Castillo. I like him. He just hasn't been very good this year. Ken Rio says I'm a big Andrew Abbott guy. I'd like a deal for him. Paul Riker says Lodolo. I wonder that they'd trade Lodolo or not.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I think, like to some extent, you see them locking the teams are locking guys up, looking towards the future, and it's like these teams, they want to be good in the coming years. They don't want to have a long rebuild. A lot of these teams, so it's when you look at these guys that are like they have the extra couple of years there. Like Detmers is a good example. Like I like the idea, but like. The Angels just going to say, like, we're giving up on the next couple of years? Because they never do that.
They never do that. They should do that, but they never do that.
Yes.
You're right. They never do that shit at all, this is the other one I looked at. It's funny. He's not a good defender at all. But he is a right-handed hitting catcher, and he's pretty much cooked. But I looked at Salvi Perez, only because remember, like 2 years ago, they were saying they were going to trade for Salvi Perez. And I was like, it'd be funny if they got him now when he's fucking on his last leg. He still has power, but he hasn't hit at all. Like he's just been real bad this year. You brought him in, and he goes on a heater for 2 months. Like that would be some funny ass fucking shit, But you realize like how thin these rosters are. Like I was even looking at Joe Adell, Chorizy. Joe Adell could be an option for the White Sox if the Angels decide to sell. He can cover center field not well, but just another right-handed power bat to get in there. It's tough. It's slim pickings out there at this point.
It feels like the Angels could make a whole bunch of moves, right?
Yeah.
And I almost look at it from the Angels side as like, what are we doing? Like,
yeah, where are we at in this?
We have. Like the part of it is the Mike Trout thing. They're hanging on to Mike Trout.
Yep.
And they're trying to get the last good years out of him. And like, are you really going to spend next year with like a total rebuild?
With scraps.
Yeah. So it's they're in a terrible spot. They're in a terrible spot. I mean, they should sell. They should sell everything. I just don't see it happening.
They would muscle up on the prospects. You sell Soriano and Detmers. You do all right,
Mm-hmm.
All right, MSS. You want to pay some bills?
I do. Here we go. Whoops.
There we go.
Ready to hit the road for the next homestand? Whether you're cruising down the Dan Ryan or heading out for a weekend series, Mazda of Orland Park is your home base for a winning drive. Just like a perfectly executed 6-4-3 double play, Mazda combines precision, style, and performance. From the versatile CX-5 to the sleek Mazda 3, we've got the roster depth to get you to 35th and Shields in style. Mazda of Orland Park makes the buying process quick and easy so you can spend less time at the dealership and more time watching Mooney crush homers. Visit Mazda of Orland Park at 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. Schedule a test drive online or by calling 708-444-3200 and check out the current selection of Mazdas on MazdaofOrlandPark.com. Mazda of Orland Park, driving Sox fans forward all season long.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys, we got more White Sox talk for you.
Boom.
I'm excited to bring in our next guest. He's the head of operations at Just Baseball. He's the co-host of the Call Up Pod. He's all over Future Sox, and he's a BMF besides. Welcome to the show, Elijah Evans.
What's up,
Elijah? How's it going?
How we doing? In
What
honor
is
of you
up?
guys, my first ever beer on a podcast right now. Never have I ever cracked one open. So we're
Yeah.
cracking it right now.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
How are we doing?
Cheers,
It's been a
my
long
friend.
day.
Cheers.
How are we doing, guys? What's going
Wonderful. Wonderful. We started off the show talking about Chris Ketz's magnum opus, where he had Jesse Rogers in there, for the fake discussion about the prospect that everyone sort of loves. And then we got into some trade deadline talk. It's tough. I know you guys, I actually listened, you and Dylan and Adrian did a great job of like highlighting some ideas for the trade deadline. It's just so tough right now when we don't know who the sellers are. Like you start doing it and you're like, who the fuck is selling?
Nobody's selling. There's like two teams you can look at where you're like, they're actually selling. And one of them's in the White Sox division and the Royals aren't giving the Sox shit. So it's like, well, who's actually going to sell that is not in the White Sox division? I couldn't tell you. Like you just said it, Chorizy, a second ago. The Angels should. Will they actually? I don't believe it. And then you look at the Rockies, you're like, the Rockies they always like kind of sell, but they don't actually sell. I don't know who's actually selling. So that makes it, I think we unfortunately end with like this like soft buy where the White Sox get like one or two decent pitchers and call it a day, which I'm fine with personally, because I'm still looking at next year as the more important year. But I understand Sox fans will probably be disappointed by a boring deadline because they want some great pitcher, which I get. I think given the circumstances, like where the team's at, where the market's at, it probably ends up as a fairly boring deadline.
Yeah, it'll be, as Tracy told me a month ago, he goes, whatever they do at the deadline, Sox fans are going to hate it because it's not going to be that flashy. And there's just, and like, we didn't get into it. We didn't get into like, Logan Webb would be perfect for this roster. I don't think they're going to sell Logan Webb right now. I'd be surprised if Detmers goes right now. Like a lot of times these teams are just waiting until the off season where they can get everyone involved and raise the price on these guys. And I don't know. It's just, and then it's not as fun as it used to be, the trade deadline.
And then you add in the layer of like with the unsureness about next year, and you're like, oh, you don't even know if you're trading for a guy with a year and a half of control, and then you miss half the year of next year. Nobody's gonna trade. It's just like I don't see any. I don't see any huge names getting moved. And the couple that do, you're going to have 10 high-end contenders, the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Braves, the Yankees, that are fighting tooth and nail to get these 3 good pitchers available in the entire market. So it's like, I just think the White Sox, like, to get a guy that fans would be fired up about, you're going to be selling the future. And it's just like, I know I'm a prospect head, so you guys can make fun of me for that. But it's like, at the same time, they just like, you're mortgaging future for what? For one pitcher that's going to make you get a couple more wins in a playoff series, maybe. Like, I don't think there's anybody out there that's changing the White Sox, like making them a World Series winner. So it's like, let's really just gear up towards next year realistically, but we'll see what happens.
From the prospect side, though, Elijah, like when you think about it, the best case scenario for the White Sox is for Tarek Skubal to not be moved and the Tigers to not make the playoffs all in one.
True.
And that scenario, though, makes the trade deadline horrible. Like it just makes it a horrible deadline. So
it's a good point.
We'll see what happens.
Well, Elijah, I brought you on because we're going to play a little game. You know a lot about the MLB draft that just happened, particularly the players that the White Sox drafted. My co-hosts here know almost nothing about them, but that doesn't matter because this game we're going to play Chorizy and MySoxSummer first. We'll evaluate a picture of a draftee for the White Sox, and then after their evaluation in their own special ways, I'm going to have you tell them exactly who the draft pick is and a little bit about that draft pick. Is everyone ready for the game to start?
Yes.
I'm ready. Throw it at me.
All right. Beautiful. I'm going to have Chorizy-E go first. And this first picture is going to be draftee number 1. Now, Chorizy, you know the assignment. You need to tell me what kind of band, maybe stage name. What goes around this person musically for you?
I mean, this is an emo band for sure. This is an emo band. He's a little teary in this.
He's a little verklempt, if you see.
No, I mean this one. I know who it is, so I can easily give a
It's
name.
the only one you guys are gonna know.
I'm gonna call him Danny C, and he's from a emo band called My Grass Cuts Itself. That's gonna be the band that he's in. And yeah, emo superstar, frontman, definite frontman right here, definite frontman.
I love it. Excellent. MSS now. You're most familiar with the adult genre. Lay it on me. What's the genre? What's this person's stage name? Go ahead.
So yeah, so the genre for me, I'm gonna go with Chorizy. Same kind of like emo soft. This is more of a woman's like erotica, right? This is the man that is asking for consent. He's like, may I kiss you? May I talk to you? May I do this? Or may I do this? So that's, may I meet you? That's what I was trying to, thank you. So yeah, that's what we're getting into. And like his name is like Alex. It's definitely like Alex. It's not even a last name because you don't want to like, it's not like Alex Rod. You have to just keep it straight.
It's not going to be that tough. It's got to be a little more.
Alex from The Office.
It's so more intimate. John Carney says he's a Virgo. He loves biking and he's never been laid. That's all I'll see there. Elijah, lay it on us. Who is this? Tell us about this prospect.
I mean, I'm rock hard right now, guys. Can't you see? I'm
there you go
right now. So where you guys hit it there. You already led us right into it. I mean, how could you not be rock hard? It's the first the 1-1 pick here. You guys know this guy enough compared to the rest of these guys, so I don't have to make fun of you too much here. But no, I mean, this was always the guy, guys. He was always the guy. I think it's so funny because there was so much smoke the past 9 months, and like everybody's just, who's it gonna be? What is it? Rock? And you see all these comment sections, there's just nothing but rock. And I'm like, as much as there was options, you didn't know for sure. Like, he was kind of always the guy. Like he was always the guy, and he is the guy. This is, the highest floor guy in the draft. He's an elite shortstop. He had 3 years of excellent production at UCLA. I think the criticism around him this season was a little overblown. He was getting pitched around. He was getting pitched very carefully because he was the projected #1 pick for a year plus. He's a great shortstop. He's got serious power upside. There's a couple swing changes to be made, but it sounds like he's ready to make them. He immediately said in his press conference, like, I'm ready to do what it takes. I talked to Ryan Fuller. I'm ready to make the adjustments we got to make. And like, he wanted to be in Chicago. The White Sox wanted him to be in Chicago. It was the right pick. It was always the pick, honestly. I think there was other possibilities, but like, this was the guy. He's the 1-1. He deserved to be the 1-1, and I think it's going to be really fun. We're going to see him real soon, guys. He's going to get sent to an affiliate here in probably a week or two at this point, which is going to be cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where do you think he ends up, Elijah? Where do you think they start him out?
I think straight to Winston. I think he skips over Kannapolis. I think he goes to high A Winston-Salem, and he finishes out the year there. And then, honestly, like if it goes really well, I wouldn't be shocked to see him get a cup of coffee in Birmingham at the end of the year in AA. I think probably Winston, but I wouldn't be shocked to see him get a little taste of Birmingham right at the end of the season here.
I liked what Get said in that Jesse Rogers article, that these kids don't really know, that you expect them to know what Chicago is and what's going on. And then for them to like go outside the box, bring them in and say, hey, check this out. And then it happened to be Brady Montgomery's walk-off. Like what better of a atmosphere to be there as like your first game? I like think of like back of like 2005, the line I have, Wake Forest at Assembly Hall, and they have a ton of recruits watching the #1 team just get dismantled by the 05 Illini on their home floor. And you're like, you can't sell it better. And it's like the same thing. You're just like, this crowd went nuts. We went crazy when that walk-off happened. It was just a hell of a night. So yeah, I like that they brought him in and it just happened to work out. So yeah, this is excited to see what this is.
I thought it was so cool for him to say that he came away from that 2 days in Chicago and he like immediately was like, I want to be here. I need to be here. Like that was his reaction to like visiting Chicago. The fact that he sat down with the director of hitting, Ryan Fuller, for 2 hours at lunch. And then he met with Jerry and he met with everybody and he experienced that. And he walked away from that visit being like, I want to be a White Sox. Like that's the guy you want going 1-1. You want a guy, if you're taking a guy with the first overall pick, the most money spent ever on an MLB draft pick, you better hope he wants to be here. And it's abundantly clear, even with the crying, even with the emo band, he wants to be in Chicago, which I love. That's great.
Hey, I listened to emo. All right, so I'm not. There's no hate there. No hate.
You'll fit right in with him. It's good.
My Bloody Valentine. I know you're a big fan, Chorizy.
Not an emo band, but I am a big fan of My Bloody Valentine.
We are. We're going to add our next draftee. We'll call this one draftee number 2. Chorizy-E, you are up first to talk about what music you feeling off of this player.
I mean, there's definitely an acoustic guitar here. This has all the writings of an acoustic guitar. I'm just trying to decide if it's country or if it's a little bit like what was that band OAR? Like I could see it being like a little bit like that. I think and he's the guitarist. He's not the front man here. He's
not the singer. Okay, got it.
He's got the jawline of a front man.
Does it help to know that he's from Mississippi? Does that change your
oh man?
Genre? I want to just give you clarification there. I need you to know the
That's a huge help, Elijah. That's a huge help.
I'm giving you tips. That's what I'm here for, guys.
So now I think it's bending country. It's bending country here. So all right, we got it.
Timothy Maurer says this guy's played a crazy game of poker.
That is the only OAR song I know. I don't love it. And yeah, I'll go country guitarist, but not the front. He's not singing. He's just
in the band. He's a guitar player. Okay, interesting.
Like
Your buddy Dan Reyes says low key R&B guy like Justin Timberlake.
Oh, I don't hate it.
You don't get the boy band vibes out of him. That's you feeling more a guitar player. I like that. Okay,
the hair coming out of the back. Beef is what's got me because I think
it's what's got you. Okay.
Take off the top, you take off the hat, and it drops down, and it's a little too much for that. So yeah.
Okay, got it. Good. Okay, very good. MSS, lay it on me, my friend.
So I see this guy starting off in like the reality genre where he's like backroom casting type thing, but more like trending more towards the fake college videos. Where they're just like, oh, we're gonna go spy on the people, but his name is Stephen Cock. That's just what it is. It's just his name is just gonna be Stephen Cock, and he's gonna come from the minors, right? The minors, which are the amateur flicks, and then he's going to the big time. Like he's gonna become like the guy. So like, but this is he's gonna be he's headstrong as a youngster, right? But he's like, I'm gonna have a good name out there. I'm not just gonna be some Joe Blow. I'm gonna go out there and like put my mark on these women. So yeah, reality, most likely like college. Yeah, college fuck film.
Here in the comments says, thought that was Adriano for a second. Gotta see the wing. I don't have those pictures for this. Sorry, Kier. Well, we'll work on it for next time. Elijah, lay it on these boys. Who is this?
Oh, that was good, fellas. This is Cole Prosek. Cole Prosek, second round pick here, 41st overall.
Big bat.
By far, big bat. By far the second highest bonus in this pool. He got almost $1 million, or it should be almost $1 million more than Landon Tomey, even though he was drafted 7 picks later. So, good reminder that draft pick means nothing in MLB. It's all about the signing bonus. Where you're picked means absolutely nothing when it comes to the baseball draft. So, Prosek's a guy that was getting first round looks, ends up going 41 to the White Sox from Mississippi. Down south, this kid can hit, guys. This kid can really, really hit. He caught in high school. He was catching and playing infield throughout all of high school, but sounds like catching off to the side. Mike Shirley's initial reaction was like, this kid hits, and that is the focus, is to develop him as a hitter. Gonna play probably a combination third base and second base here, but he mashes. He's got some serious potential with the pop. Really, really overall, just well-rounded hitter, bat to ball, power upside, still growing in his body, left-handed hitter. So back-to-back lefties there with Tomey and Prosek. He can mash. He's from the deep South, and he's someone that I think was, you knew it was going to be expensive, and the White Sox paid up. They paid $3.25 million to get Prosek to sign out of high school, and abandon his Ole Miss commitment. He's from the South, committed to Ole Miss. I like that. And he's just he can hit. He can really hit, and he's going to be exciting to watch. And he fits right in with that group of Fauske, Carlson, Tomey, and now Prosek. You've got a number of these high school hitters that are all just going to be coming up together over the next couple of years.
Man, so I heard Shirley talking about him, and like he wouldn't say the name, but I mean he was making comps to the Bryce Harper swing, like when he was.
Yeah.
Is it there? Are we looking at something like that smooth? The
videos, it's kind of eerie, like how much it looks like it. It's very bizarre. Like
it's really smooth. I don't think he'll ever have quite the power pop of Harper, but like it's not impossible. You got to remember with these high school kids, they're so young and there's so much time for him to just build more muscle and strength. Like it's a really pretty swing. There's this leg kick going on. There's not much. It's pretty quick to the ball, very twitchy. He can rake, guys, and he's not the quickest guy. Like he's probably always going to be a below average runner. He'll stick at either second or third base, most likely. I think he has the arm to play third. Maybe inch him at second. I think he'll start at third. It's my guess is he'll play mostly third coming out of the gate. Could see him shifting to second as time goes on. He's not a guy that's played shortstop much, and I don't think he will. Even though worst case, if he gets huge and bulks up, you put him in a corner somewhere, and I think he could be fine there too. Like he's athletic enough to play a corner. The bats, the hitting overall is just like he's going to need to refine the approach a little bit, calm it down a little. But for such a young guy, like you can really dream on like some serious offense out of the left side from this guy.
I love it. Now you mentioned that the signing bonus is looking like it's going to be like $1 million higher than Landon Thome. And just to school the audience a little bit, when the White Sox traded for the 34th pick, what they're trading for was more bonus pool, basically, right? They needed money to spread around to a lot of these guys, and that's the general purpose, correct?
There's two layers to it, right? A is just you added almost $3 million to your bonus pool. So they went from what was already a good pool to the biggest bonus pool ever in this draft with over $21 million to spend. And it did seem like there was other teams between pick 34 and 41 that were interested in Landon Thome and pushing hard for him. So even though they go up, they get the guy to make sure they don't lose out on Thome, knowing that they're going to sign him to a lot less than the slot value of 34. Thome seems like he's going to come in around the value of that 41st pick or even a little lower. Meanwhile, Prosek gets the value of what would have been the 30th pick. So it's an interesting kind of
wrinkle. You can get them both by doing it that way.
Yes, they got them both. And even though the money's flipped where Prosek's the higher money and Tome's the lower money, Prosek had to get, it had to be the opposite way in terms of when they were drafted. So it's an interesting kind of situation there. But you get two left-handed high school bats with like really natural feel to hit and just a lot of projection there. You got to feel really fired up about getting two young infielders that with that much just offensive talent.
And Beef, we talked about this in the tub. We got to now keep an eye on Jim Thome's salary bump for next year. So we can evaluate the full bonus. Yeah,
correct. Yeah, no, we are going to keep our eye on that. I should have been a forensic accountant instead of just like real estate accountant, but I was into all that shit, so we'll check that out. No question about it. All right, let's go into we'll call this draftee number 3, and draftee number 3 is up on the board now. Chorizy, this is a very different look than the first two that you've seen here, so I'll just give you a second here to kind of get your thoughts into the flow of what kind of music this person is churning out for you right here.
I mean, my mind's going in two different directions right now. My mind's going into two different directions. This could definitely be part of a Polish death metal group. I could see that. Mm-hmm. And then on one side, I could see him doing EDM and just like have like some kind of thing over his head to mask his identity. But I'm gonna go death metal. I'm gonna go lead guitarist death metal. I'm feeling that. I feel like if we were to get a full picture of this dude, his shoulders are straight across, and then right his neck is outrageous. This is the kind of guy that you see in like one of these Polish death metal bands that's ripped out of his mind and is playing what looks like a tiny guitar because of his giant body. So that's where I'm going. That's what I'm feeling on him.
Sounds good. Funny in the comments, Midwest Kid says, I just signed on. What the fuck am I looking at?
A White Sox draft.
Just hang out.
Slash.
Hang out for a little bit, all right? MSS.
Slash guitarist for Gut Grinder.
Gut Grinder. MSS, lay it on me. What's the genre? What you feeling right here?
Parody porn is screaming from this picture. I can see this guy dressing up like a superhero, like coming in, and just being like, he's gonna be like the super, there was this porn. It was the Batman versus Superman, and then they both banged Wonder Woman. Like he could definitely be,
could be one of those,
one of those guys, not Wonder Woman. But like he could be one of those. So yeah, that's definitely where I'm going with him. And it's going to be like Zane Cook. You know, like he's definitely like
that's a solid name.
He's a Zane.
It's Zane. He's definitely a Zane, and then and Cook. You know, because he's cooking. So yeah, no, but the parody porn 100%. Good job.
Comments. Timothy Meyer says either late 80s hair metal or a band people were talking about in Seattle in 1990 before Nirvana hit big.
He looks like he's in too good a shape for Seattle. I think that's the problem that I have.
No,
you need
and he's smiling too. You can't smile if you're from.
They're
from
not
that.
working
The Seattle scene only had really frail dudes or 600-pound guys. There was no in between.
That's correct.
What about like Swedish like black metal? Chorizy, like he could do that.
That's kind of where it's going. That's kind of not quite there though, because I don't see him with the face paint and everything.
Yeah,
like I don't see him being Nordic. I see him like being more like a Polish metal guy. You know, he's doing metal out there.
Timothy Maher comes to your side, Chorizy. He thinks he could berserker. He'd be all like Olaf.
There we go. He's thinking Eastern Europe, not Nordic. I like that.
Elijah, have you ever seen Clerks? The movie Clerks?
No, I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, I'm a couple years younger than you, Unks. I'm not following any of this. Not any of this. All this is just like
it's okay.
Right over my head. But
it's okay. And do not let MSS try to mentor you either. Okay, he likes to try to mentor you. Don't let him mentor you. All right.
Listen, this kid's doing fine. He's doing real good. So.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, the funny thing is you mentioned metal. I will say you're on the right track because this guy is straight power. That is 100% his game. I mean, it is just power stuff from this dude. It's ridiculous. It's a cutter at 99, and it just is like he just throws and shoves. It's Jesus. College guy who like has had command issues is going to have command issues, but the stuff is stupid. Every pitch is over 85. He's throwing breaking balls at like low 90s. It's just powerful everything. Where like they're gonna try to start him and they're gonna give it a real shot because I think they see something in like getting his body a little bit more in tuned, a little bit more in shape where they can try to keep him as a starter. If he's not a starter, you're going to see this guy as a disgusting reliever. So yes, you want him to be a starter, but like the backup plan for this guy is he's just in the bullpen bumping heavy metal and throwing 99 down the pipe, and it's effective. So he's a fun arm because for that reason, like he could be a starter. I hope they're going to give him a shot to be. It sounds like they're very set on trying to maximize what he can be, get him as a starter potentially. But if he's not, it's a really good reliever. So not the worst fallback for a college guy, right?
I think I missed the name, and like I also want to know.
Oh yeah, I didn't even get you on anything. I just went straight in.
How tall is this guy? Because I can't tell from this picture if he's 5'6" or 6'4".
No, Volchko's big. He's 6'4", 6'5", I think. Yeah.
Oh, this is Volchko. Okay.
This is Joey Volchko. Yes, this is Joey Volchko.
Oh man,
third round. That's
a better name than I could have come up with, Elijah.
Yeah, sick name, right? I was like, I cut you off on the name, but I was like, my bad. But
that's his metal name. Cool. You don't even need it. And MSS could have used that name too. Like,
yeah, Joey Volchko is tough. Yeah, exactly.
That definitely has an Ibanez with like a shitload of pickups on it, and he's just shredded.
Seven-string Ibanez, MSS. 7-string Ibanez.
Is a big dude for sure. So if
perfectly in line.
You guys were going for, honestly, you guys were
all of it was perfectly in line here. I really like that one. That was a good one.
That one lined up.
Game knows game.
I totally cut you guys off on the name there too.
Oh no.
Volchko makes sense.
Don't worry about it. Let's get to the next one here. Let's get to who I'm calling draftee number 4. And I'll give Chorizy a second to marinate here.
This is very
honestly,
easy.
Guy looks like he could have been in a band with you.
This is very easy. This is very easy. This is the bass player in a SoCal punk band. This is 100% a bass player in a SoCal punk band. And like in the band, his name's like Chue Escalante or something. But like,
right.
But like that is not his real name. His real name is not as quite as Hispanic as that. So like that's kind of the I saw this guy and immediately I was thinking what was the dude from Everclear? Dave? Or what's that? Is that the guy?
Yeah,
that immediately shot into my mind. But I'm thinking more punk. I'm thinking more punk rock here. I see a little bit lettuce in the back, but like I think Chue Escalante from a SoCal punk band.
Southside Tony says metalcore frontman. Yeah, you can see that right there. MSS, where are we at, man? Genre, actor, tell me.
I've been saving this because I knew I was going to come across at least one of them that was going to fall right into this genre, and this is MILF porn. He's the young-looking kid that's fucking the stepmom, 100%. And I don't want to get too crazy here, but Meg, I mean, I don't want to say his name is Juan, but he's definitely like a Jesus or something, you know, and they're like, come here, Jesus, come help mom, you know, fold the laundry. And then, you know, Jesus has like a 9-inch banging cock, right? Like, and she's just like, oh my God, whatever. But that's this dude. The ears definitely play into that. And this is 100%. So yeah, this is MILF porn. And
I need a clarification because you said mom said come and fold the laundry. I envision not stepmom situation because you said MILF. I envision like a neighbor's coming to help with some stuff, you know, like that's what's kind of like envisioning there. So I don't know. I just want to get a clarification.
Okay, so MILF.
Just like neighbors coming to paint the house or the gate.
You don't like the stepmom stuff. I get you. So you're not a Corey Chase person.
I'm just asking. I'm just curious, you know.
But it could be both. But yeah, let's go with the neighbor. Let's go with like, you know, it's the hot mom on the block with the huge fake hands, you know, who needs somebody to come clean her gutters. And, you know, Jesus is available and he's looking for part-time work because, you know, he just got laid off at like the Home Depot or something, you know, so just trying to help him out.
Do I look like this guy, by the way? I
Somebody
got the
said that.
Asking if
saying that?
Do I look like him?
Hang on, someone did say that, right? Yeah. Southside Jeff
am I the one fucking the stepmom? I don't know.
I think it could be. I don't think you look. There's maybe a slight.
That's up to you, Elijah. But like, I don't see it.
Is that something you want to do, Elijah? Because I'm sure we can find some stepmoms in the 108 for you that would be.
I would never rule it out, but you know.
Elijah, keep an open mind. I appreciate.
I feel like your ears are a little more tucked in than this guy's.
He's got the cab doors are open there. Kid Aquatic says Chewy Escalante groove metal bassist. Kier says pool boy. Yeah, that could be a pool boy situation. MSS.
That's kind of racist, though. Kier.
He is. He is from California. I'll give you that. He's definitely a West Coast guy. That kind of checks. I think what you were getting
from
there,
California.
I said SoCal. I said Southern California.
I think he is a SoCal guy. I'm trying to remember exactly where he's from, but I know he was undrafted out of high school because he had a big commitment to Oregon State. Stays on the He's been on the West Coast for his entire life. So he's a West Coast guy, true and true for sure. Ups and downs throughout college, but this past year, this is Eric Segura, by the way, for name. So I don't know if it's quite. I mean, I guess the racial line, you guys, somebody was on the right path, I guess, with Segura. But you know, he's a college pitcher who had a tough, not the best first 2 years of school. His second year was rough. He was in and out of the bullpen. Third year, he kind of changed his arsenal around. He added a sinker to his mix. He has the slider. He's just kind of a good, durable, solid starting pitcher, I feel like. Someone who you're going to definitely see starting. I think he's like the most, probably of any pitcher in this class, the most like he's going to be a starter. I don't think the upside is as high as some of these other guys. Definitely not the power stuff of a Volchko, but a little bit more of a, dependable, going to be a starting pitcher, type of guy long term. The sinker is good. He gets a lot of heavy ground balls. It can be a little bit of iffy shape on the fastball at times. His slider has been really good. Gets a lot of sweep on it. Overall, I think there's some still just like refining to do. I think he's someone that the org views as like get him with Bannister, just see everything you can juice out of it. But like he was great this past season. He shoved at Oregon State. He was awesome all year. Once he added that sinker to play off his fastball, he just became a really good pitcher overall. So someone that really blossomed this past year. And I think if he had done this for 2 years in a row or 3 years in a row in college, he would have been a top 2-3 round pick, but ends up being fourth rounder by the Sox here and getting exactly the slot value. So pretty much the spot on fourth round pick type of guy who is going to be he'll get a lot of run and he'll be a starter and we'll see where it goes from there. But just kind of a more well-rounded guy, a little bit of higher floor. But it seems like they see some more stuff to work on here with this guy who he figured it out his last year of school. And sometimes those are the guys that you keep an extra eye on because you never know. They might just pop. If they just figured it out in school, you get them in a pro situation and they might take it up a whole other notch from there. So
that'd be great. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head from Oregon State that didn't work out. So I'm bullish on this.
This guy's a little bit taller, I will say. We'll give him that. So should be okay.
Now, Elijah, you were mentioning for the hitters, you were mentioning their assignments, but for the pitchers, you just kind of assume that their season's basically over, even though there's a couple months left that they could go to an affiliate and pitch.
I generally assume so because that's how the White Sox have done things the past few years. At least the starters, I think, are probably done. A couple of the older relievers that we're not going to, the later round picks that we're not going to hit on, like some of those guys might go pitch in the affiliates. For starting pitchers, like because they were ramped up all the way to full starting and then they haven't thrown now in 2 months, like pretty hard to ramp those guys up and get them out to an affiliate in time. So there's a chance, like I won't rule it out, but based on last year, based on how the organization operates, I kind of assume anybody who's a true starting pitcher is probably done for the year with in-game reps.
Makes a lot of sense. All right.
Yeah. Brandon Eisert's also an Oregon State guy. I didn't even realize that.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know
that.
that.
I said that in the comments. I didn't realize that. That's fun.
Of course, Bruhan Luke's on top of it here.
Yeah, that's
Man.
Oregon State for Oregon State. I love it.
Jesus.
And
Bruhan
Alex
Luke
Smith says, if any of these kids pan out, this will be a great flashback clippable segment. Oh, it'll be clipped up regardless. Don't worry about it.
That's true.
Let's get to let's get to the next one. Draftee number 5, we'll call this person. And I kind of when I pulled this one, I thought, let me give a real assignment to MySoxSummer when it gets to his turn. He'll really enjoy this shit. But Chorizy, I'm sure you've seen musicians that look like this. What's the genre here of this young fellow?
You know what I thought of immediately when I saw this picture? He looks nothing like him, but like I immediately thought this type of like kind of one man insanity thing. I thought of Andrew WK, and like I think that this guy is out there. He does everything. And then he's just the front man in front of like basically an electronic set back there that's just running all the things. But it's kind of metal, it's kind of party rock, and he's just an insane maniac front man. The hair just screams it. I
love it.
I love the look. I like this. This seems like a guy that I would party with, and so I think that he's like kind of like this Andrew WK like one-man show rock thing. Like I like it. I like whoever this is. I think he's gonna be great.
That's on guard right there. Alex Smith says thrash metal bassist for sure. David says Dave's confused. And Timothy says, you guys want to party hard or maybe talk about partying hard? Very good. MSS.
He knows what I'm talking about.
Throw me a genre. Throw me a stage name. Let's go.
I was gonna say something really not great, and so I'm gonna walk it back a little bit. But this guy, he's definitely gonna be like the Gonzo performer. And if you don't know what Gonzo is, that is camera in the face. You're not necessarily seeing his face, which if you look at this guy's face, don't necessarily want to see his face. Now, they have a subset of these guys that do this, and they don't have real names. They just use like aliases. There's a Mr. Lucky. This guy, Mr. Wang. He's just got a huge ass, big, old, girthy, big bad boy. And he's just gonna take these girls. He's gonna have really nice, fun sets that he builds for them and everything. But you're never gonna see this guy's face, only neck below. And so yeah, Mr. Wang, Gonzo porn right here.
Gonzo. He always uses the industry terms, Chorizy. He keeps it industry tight. I appreciate
POV.
that.
He almost went. He almost worked in the industry as a graphic designer.
He taught me what Gonzo was. I didn't even know what the fuck that was. So, Elijah, who is this guy?
This is 5th round pick Cal Scolari. I love this picture. This is a good one. This is a good find by Beef for sure. I will say it's better than his draft photo. Honestly, this one gets me fired up. But no, he's a guy that had a Tommy John in high school, missed his entire last year of high school and his whole first year of college. He really didn't throw much, so there's definitely some injury concern there, of course. But his second year, he was at San Diego, dominated the Western Conference or the West Coast Conference, but nobody plays in that league, so whatever. Goes undrafted. Goes to Oregon for a year this past season. The stuff ticked up a lot. He was sitting 92 this past year at Oregon. He's sitting over 94, topping up at 98. So he added like 20 pounds the past 2 years since getting to college, coming off TJ. So a guy that hasn't thrown a ton, right? You only have a year, less than 2 full seasons of actual college innings to look at, but he got a lot stronger. The fastball ticked up a lot. He bounces off that with 2 breaking balls. It's like kind of fastball and then double barreled curveball slider action. The stuff is exciting and he had some good stuff. The command is still like there. I think they view him as a starter and they want him to be, but obviously, you get a little weary with guys that had TJ as soon as early as high school, of course. But then again, hopefully it knocked it out and you don't have to deal with that for many years to come again. So we'll see. But it's interesting. I think there's still some risk with the profile, but another guy that's going to be starting like Volchko and Segura, and you'll see what you can get. I think the guys that haven't pitched as much are sometimes the ones where you look at as these fun guys to project and just see what you can get out of it. And the fact that he ticked up 3 miles an hour in velo throughout his 2 years in school actually pitching is encouraging. Maybe there's even more in the tank. I mean, he got up to 98 this spring. I mean, who knows, maybe he gets up to 100 in pro ball, like we'll see. But it's an interesting path. I mean, it's a fun name to watch. Definitely a less like traditional route than some of these other guys we've talked about, but sometimes that's fun. And he's a big dude, 6'4". He was up to like 225 this spring. He gets down the mound really well. He gets almost 6.5+ feet of extension down the mound. So really big dude who moves well. Just some question marks there with injuries, command, all the above. But 5th rounder, about slot value.
Elijah, go ahead, Treasy. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, how much is Tommy John something to worry about? I feel like nowadays most people have their first Tommy John, like most pitchers have their first Tommy John surgery at like 12 or 13 years old. So like, I mean, like, is it something that you should really be concerned with when you're looking at a prospect like this?
No, generally speaking, no. These days, I agree. Like it's a lot of, guys get it these days. Everybody gets it, honestly. So like it isn't a huge thing. I just think the lack of innings, knowing that he still has more time to figure things out. Like you're going to be a little more patient probably compared to some other guys that haven't had surgery yet, just because he's already been through that. You got to take it a little bit. His development track might be like a little slower than some other guys, but it's not that he's like. It's been 2 years now. It's not like he's coming off TJ like a month ago, right? Like he's 2 years out of TJ recovery and everything. So not a huge concern, honestly, but it obviously like plays a factor because he didn't get drafted. I mean, he was draft eligible last year as a sophomore. He didn't get drafted because he was only less than a year off of TJ. This year, he had a whole other season under his belt at a higher level of competition. He threw well this year in Oregon, but and there was good stuff. It just is, there's a little more. You consider it a little bit more, but it's not huge.
Just more development because he missed a development period.
Yep,
there's a lot more development to happen.
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
Now, Elijah, I'm going to go ahead and assume none of these guys were starting on Friday nights this year, and they're a little more project. Or was he?
I think he was. I know he was a Friday night guy his sophomore year at a small school. I think he was. He might have been a Saturday guy this year, but no, Volchko was definitely a Friday guy.
Volchko was.
Segura was not a Friday guy. Segura was a little bit. I think Segura was actually a Sunday guy, and then I think Scoleri, I want to say, was. I'm not. Dylan would know this, but I think he was a Saturday guy. I want to say. So I think he's still. All these guys were in the rotations, and they're all going to be starting. All three of these last guys are going to be starting pitchers for sure.
Interesting. Yeah. The Friday night thing, allegedly, MSS, that's when you put your ace up there. You put your ace up, which makes sense, right? Everyone's out there watching. They want to see it, so it makes sense.
You got all the girls in the stands on Friday. Matters, right?
You would think Oregon Ducks fan
guys.
number 1, Luke, would tell us if he was a Friday night guy because he knows everything about.
He was ducking it up out here. He was very excited.
Oh, he knows. He was supposed to be the original.
He was supposed to be. Okay, all right.
There was a couple other injuries. Small, in addition to the TJ, there was some other small injury things too.
Okay.
There's some
nicked up a little. Okay.
There's a little, but yeah.
All right. Let's get to number 6.
SPF, I know.
Number 6. Interesting one.
Yeah.
Chorizy-E. Give me the genre, the style. Let's go.
I mean, this is a front man. Yeah, he's got a little bit. I'm kind of thinking like I don't know if you're familiar with some of the stuff that big in Chicago, where it's a little bit R&B, but also like kind of a full rock band behind. Not quite like Living Color, not quite like that.
Yeah.
But I'm more thinking something like that, where it's it's got some rock to it, but it's got some R&B, and I definite frontman. I'm definitely feeling the frontman vibe. So I'm liking that. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I can't think of a band name though. I'm a little I'm weak on the band name here, but yes, frontman for sure.
MSS.
I don't want to just go as easy as this, but this is 100% interracial, right? Like he's banging all the white women, like all the big booty white girls and everything. Like it's just happening, and like he's gonna have like a very, very ethnic sounding name too. Like like, because you get like, Mr. Marcus, something like that, or like Lexington Steel, like, and not that Lexington is like a very black name, but like, like he's gonna own it. It's gonna be a strong name. Oh God, man, like Rob Dig, or Rob, like Rob Deep. Let's go Rob Deep. That's what we're gonna do. But it's interracial. But he's gonna be the nice. Now there are trending a lot of black performers in the adult entertainment industry that are tatted up like a motherfucker and look like they just got out of the joint, and that's a whole different thing. He is not like that. He's the nice guy. He's the nice guy.
He's the face.
Like, he's more baby face. Yeah, he's more baby face, interracial born guy. Yep. So Rob D. Yep.
How do you follow that, Elijah? There you go.
I love that this is like the most basic name in the whole draft class, and MSS is just going off on this whatever he's saying, and then this is just like the most standard name ever, Cameron Johnson. Just like
that would work too.
The literal most simple thing ever of just Cameron Johnson. Literally the only basic name I'd say in this entire draft class. There's some crazy names, and then it's just Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson is a power lefty from Oklahoma. Doesn't throw strikes. Stuff is absurd, which is exactly for a 15th round pick, an awesome shot to take. He's gross. He was a guy that was like a top 50 prospect in the country coming out of high school. Went undrafted because he really wanted to go to college. He ends up transferring. He was at what, LSU, I think. And then, transferred, didn't throw at all really as a freshman, transfers to Oklahoma. Even in the 2 years at Oklahoma, like the strike rate just super low and way too low. But for a 15th round pick and a guy with 99 mile an hour sinker stuff out of the pen from the left side too, he can shove. I mean, he's a huge guy, 6'6", like 250 something, I think. Absolute monster from the left side of the plate. 99 with a really good changeup pairing off of it, a solid slider as well. Just doesn't throw strikes. So one of those guys where like if it clicks, like this is an insane steal in the 15th round. If it doesn't click, you call it is what it is. It sounds like they may actually give him a chance to start. I know he started this past year. He was starting a little bit for Oklahoma, which is surprising for this type of archetype. But I think give him a shot to start and potentially quickly move him to the bullpen. The stuff is fun. It's just going to come down to like, can they adjust some things to get him throwing the ball in the zone? But yeah, Cameron Johnson, most basic name in the draft class, and really, really fun dart to throw in the 15th round for sure. I mean, this is the guy that was looking at, I think a lot of people saw him in like the 6 to 10 round range, and getting him in the 15th and with that 99 with sink from the left side, like you take that chance for sure.
Nice.
Beef, who was that guy that was it? Tiago Vera, that would like when it was his first game, we were in the seats and we
bet on hit by pitch.
We bet on hit by pitch for the first batter that he faced, and it was like, is this the first batter he's facing in the major leagues? We're sitting in the stands, and Beef's like, I bet you he hits the first guy. So we bet. I won. He did not hit the first batter. He hit the second batter.
I mean, yeah, that could be Cam Johnson in the minor leagues for a little bit for sure.
Cam Johnson.
There's a chance, but it was also funny that they mentioned, the Sox Shirley mentioned after the draft, like this was one of the guys they thought was just unique. They said, they like going after these unique trait pitchers that have a little bit of some funkiness to them, some deception, there's something there, and he definitely is something there. It's just. Like, will he throw more than 50% strikes? We'll see. But the stuff is gross. So you take that shot in the 15th round any day.
Well, so
Ian Eskridge in the comments says Oklahoma pitcher with command issues. Where have I heard this before? Yeah, I remember when Alec Hansen was the pitcher of the year, and then he was gone. We never saw him again.
Now he's selling real estate.
Elijah, is that though? Like in the late rounds, is that what most teams do? Is kind of like try and find something exceptional, or are there teams that are more along the lines of like, I'm just trying to fill up with $10,000 bonus guys that I think are close to the majors and will be mediocre when they get here?
It's a combination. I think usually it's a balance of the two. You want to get some of those upside guys, but you also, especially in the 7 through 10 rounds, because those are the ones that count towards the bonus pool, often see some like late senior signings that you're just saving money on, just filling the organization, some older guys. But then every team is is trying to get at least a couple of these kind of dart throws of like, let's see if we can get an upside piece where like, if things go well, this guy could be really good. And that's exactly what Cam Johnson was. I think the Sox this year actually took a number of guys, honestly, with those things where on the hitting side, they went with college hitters who have just like stupid power, but don't make enough contact. And on the pitching side, you go with guys that have really powerful stuff, don't throw enough strikes. It's kind of the equivalent there. They went with a lot of guys in both those archetypes this year, which I'm interested to see. I mean, you're going to mention him. I know one of the names coming up, but like there was like 5 college hitters in the back half of this draft that are all just like hit the shit out of the ball, don't make contact. But if they start making contact, then they're really good players. So it is an interesting thing. You want to take stabs at some of these upside guys, though. I think Cameron Johnson in the back half of the draft is probably the most like, if it clicks guy, which is fun. It's fun to watch these guys. And then, we might see him walk like 40% of batters in single A, or we might see him shove, and we'll see. It'll be a flip of the coin.
Elijah, is it encouraging, especially the way Brian Bannister built bullpens the prior few years, where there's all these weird, quirky guys, that they're starting to draft guys like this who, if they turn and the guy throws 100, throws the sinker at 100, like you really have a weapon out there. It's interesting. Are you encouraged by this a little bit?
I do like it. I love taking a stab at these like formerly highly regarded pitchers who still have really good stuff. And it might not have worked in college, but you get them in a pro development system and maybe something just clicks with their body, with their command, the way they're attacking. Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pierce George down in the minors right now, but Pierce George is he's up to Birmingham now, but he was the same kind of draft pick 2 years ago. His first pro season last year did not throw any strikes at all. Literally was just like really, really rough. This season, he's now gone from Kannapolis to Winston to Birmingham, throwing 102 out of the bullpen, Alabama guy, and it's shoving because he found the way to throw strikes. And it's like those guys, like those are the guys you want to be taking a shot at in the back half of an MLB draft, where like the stuff is great. And if something clicks, they're going to like Pierce George will be in the White Sox bullpen next year, which I know is like, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but like, I honestly don't think that's crazy. But he was a guy that he genuinely could not get through an inning in single A last year. And now he like might be in the bigs next year in a 2 year span. So that's what these guys represent. And that's why you take these shots later in the round. And Cam Johnson for a 15th round pick, like I would have been happy if the Sox took him in the 8th. They took him in the 15th. So I thought it was a great dart though.
Love it. Love to hear that. All right, let's get to the very last one. We got one more.
I'm scared for this, guys. I know where this is going.
Draftee number 7, and I tried to mix it up for you guys a little bit here. So, Chorizy, this is draftee number 7. What kind of musical future did you see for this young man?
Man, he looks really young. Like I'm guessing this is not a prep player based on just kind of the background there. But I'm gonna. This one's tough. I'm gonna go. This guy's like the drummer in a new metal band. Like I'm kind of getting a new metal vibe out of this guy. I feel like it is the chain MSS. It is the chain. I feel like it would be a little bit tighter, but I feel like new metal drummer, plays shirtless for sure. Yeah, that's where I'm throwing this guy.
All right. MSS, give me a genre, baby.
I mean, this is just one of the guys in the gangbang. Like he is just like, he's the inline dude. Like the total, like not even worrying about his eyebrows. This is the guy that's like 5th in line. That's going to follow some real bangers, some real, tough guys, right? Like he's needed. He's a role player. He helps Bonnie Blue get to 100. But like he's, but that's where he's at. He's slotted. He doesn't have a young look to him to do other things, and he's not really that good looking. So he's just like right in the middle. And he's a power guy, but he's just not. No. Name wise, like it doesn't even. It's like Suitor 7. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't even really have a name because he's just part of the machine. Yeah. He's like,
when they roll the credits, you're like, oh, it's that. Yeah. It was number 7. There I am.
Yep. Yeah. Suitor 7. Because he doesn't want to do this for the rest of his life. He's like, I don't need that out there. He could potentially wear one of those ski mask things that the kids wear now, so that people don't have to see that. So, yep.
Comments are on fire right now. It says lots of preparation has been from us.
This is all off the cuff.
Alex Smith says hitting cleanup in the gangbang is crazy.
I actually like your name better, MSS. I think that name,
Suitor 7.
let's go with Suitor. I might just call him Suitor 7 from now on, to be honest. It's a good name.
Elijah, who is this guy?
It's Grayson Fitzwater. So also a pretty cool name.
Oh my God.
Also a pretty cool name. It fits in.
Grayson ain't getting laid to save his life.
But it gets better, MSS. Just wait. Grayson Fitzwater
man.
was a 4-year player at Virginia Military Institute. Grayson Fitzwater is a military fella from Virginia. He is the all-time home runs leader at Virginia Military Institute, which is crazy to even explain. So, he absolutely hits the living piss out of the ball, but he also faced a bunch of kids that are in fucking military school. So I don't know what to put into that. So I don't know. I mean, Data Darling, a lot of people really like this guy, actually, in the deep nerdy community of drafts. People love this guy. People were super, super in on this guy as a out of nowhere, nobody knows about him, but he should be on your radar type of guy. The data is incredible. Like, he hits the piss out of the ball. He's super patient. He walks a ton. He's 62 homers throughout his college career. But again, has he faced anybody throwing more than 93? Not really. So we'll see. I mean, I think he's the type of guy where I could see him having a Tim Elko type of run where he just destroys the shit out of the lower levels, and then fans start to love him, and then he might not be that good. But with that said, there's a lot to like. I mean, 13th round pick, you're taking a stab at someone who was insanely good in college. Let me see him against 96 and we'll see what happens. I don't know, but he hits the crap out of the ball, and he's got experience in college, and he has, he's patient. He's a smart hitter. I don't know what the competition level at Virginia Military Institute, prepares you for necessarily. So
are there any plans to make a statue of him at the Virginia Military School?
They probably should, right? All-time leader in RBIs, home runs, total bases, all of the he literally is the best player to ever come out of Virginia Military Institute. So you'd think maybe there will be a statue. That'd be cool. I mean, he's a big lefty, big dude, first baseman only, probably. Maybe could stick him in right field and get by, but probably a first base only guy.
Okay.
Similar type of vibe to a Tim Elko, but Tim Elko obviously played Ole Miss, or Anthony DePino from last year's draft is a good comparison. That's a guy who was a small school guy, first baseman, but hitting incredibly well and is already up in AA now. Fitzwater should breeze through the lower levels potentially. I just you never know. It's just hard to know the type of competition he's faced, and can he handle velocity remains to be seen. Does whiff a decent amount as well, so we'll see. But he performed real well in college, and he hit the shit out of the ball, and his name's Grayson Fitzwater or Suitor 7, whatever you prefer.
If I knew it was Grayson Fitzwater, he would have definitely been American Idol contestant, not new metal drummer.
I like that.
I don't know. Grayson works for new metal too, man. I feel like it.
I think it's fine for the drummer, but I think I mean,
Elijah, when you say he's a data darling, are you talking about exit velocities? Are you talking about how swing, everything,
all the above, honestly. I mean, the exit velocities are ridiculous. The general approach is very strong. His walk rate's really good. So there's a lot to like there. He does whiff a decent amount though, so that's the one area where the data backs up, I would guess, is that regard. But 99th percent in terms of college rankings, 99th percentile average EV, 99th percentile barrel rate. All that is, he doesn't chase much at all, but he is going to whiff and he's going to hit the crap out of the ball. But we'll see. It's fun. Virginia Military School is makes it a little bit hard to gauge just how good of a player he'll be. But
oh, it's fun. Elijah, any overarching thoughts on the White Sox draft in general? We had a good time with the game, and thank you for the previews of the various players. But any overarching thoughts of what they did this past week?
Yeah, this was an awesome draft. I really have to give it to Mike Shirley and crew. I mean, they had the most money ever, like I mentioned, to spend in a draft. So you expect with the most money ever that a team is going to do well. And I think, luckily they did. But you still have to give credit where it's due. They got, the number one pick. They picked the guy that was always the guy. They got 4 high school guys, 3 hitters and an arm, who are all very exciting, projectable players. They paid 4 high school guys over $1 million each at least, and then some, which you've never seen the White Sox come away with 4 high-end prep guys in a draft draft class, right? And then you tack on a bunch of college guys that a bunch of arms, and then some powerful bats that have some questionable decisions. But like, you'll see where all that goes across the board. I think it was a really good draft. I think for a team that's now in this kind of contending time, whether it's this year or next year, like for a team entering a contention window, you crush the draft and you keep infiltrating more talent into the system. I do think that like some of these guys are probably trade bait next year, which is not a bad thing. It's a good, if you crush a draft and you have a lot of guys that teams across the league also like the same guys, you get some ammo going into the offseason. You're not going to trade them on this year, obviously. And then, next year you have some guys that you could potentially move. I think you could see a few guys from this draft class getting moved, but either way, you just help the farm system out. I mean, obviously so many guys have graduated, right? You've seen so many of the young guys come up to the big leagues. Of course, your farm system's going to take a hit. Like they've gone down in like the farm system rankings tier, but now you bring in a bunch of guys like this, and I think it helps bring them back up. So it was a really good draft overall. I think, from top down, you got a good variety of players, high school, college pitchers, young pitchers, all the above. So I thought they did a great job with this draft, and I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have a bunch of, now I got to look these guys in the face if they see these clips, and I'm interviewing them about baseball and asking them about their pitch movements and shit, and they're going to be like, you mean Souther Southern? I'm like,
don't call them by the porn name. Don't call them by the porn name.
No,
don't mess that up.
I'll try not to. We'll see. But no, I'm going to have a bunch of these guys too.
Elijah, before we let you go, there was a guy that I was hoping would show up in this list, but Beef, you did not include him, and is Kyle Castile. Right.
Yeah, Castile's good, man. So that was the one high school pitcher. Yeah. He went way over slot, right? Tell me a little bit about 11th, that guy. 11th round, but went over $1 million, over slot. I mean, basically used the entire, essentially you could put it as like use the entire number one pick savings difference on this high school pitcher. I know Shirley said like they wanted this one young pitcher. They hadn't had, like, they went all young hitters early, and then they only took one high school pitcher. But Castile's fun, man. He really developed well the past year. He's a big, 6'4", 18-year-old kid coming out of high school who's ticked up in velo. He's up to 95, 96 now this past spring. So there's a lot to dream on. I still think he has room to grow. It's a really nice slider, little kind of almost sidearmy, 3/4 slot right-hander. I really like Castile. He's fun. I mean, it's high school pitchers are always like inherently very risky. It's like the most risky archetype, right? To take a kid who's 18 pitching, but like jumping 3 miles an hour in velo this year, and seemed to be someone that they, after day one, after the first 10 picks, when they got to 11, they looked at their money and they realized they had the money to go get a guy like this. And they went and got a guy for, the 11th round for 3rd round type of money. It obviously speaks to how they view a guy. I mean, crazy. Anybody you're giving that type of money so late in the draft, you're viewing as a real piece there. So Castile's fun. He won't throw it all this year for sure. I don't even know if he might not even throw to start next year. Like, it might be later, it might be like mid to late next season before we see him actually in games, because he's an 18-year-old pitcher. But a lot of fun there. He had a really good spring. I know he went from he's Pennsylvania, like Pittsburgh kid too, which like Pittsburgh is not known as a baseball hub by any means, right? The Midwest as a whole is not all that exciting for baseball. So, I think he's one guy that just took a big jump this spring in some of the summit circuits. And I think they view him as someone that's a long-term piece, probably the longest term piece of this whole draft, but doesn't mean not fun. So yeah, fun guy for sure. I'm excited to see him for what he looks like.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun class. This is cool. I love draft time, and we're gonna. Yeah, a lot of these guys will be. They're out in Charlotte right now. I think all of them signed, and they're out doing like a draft mini camp in Charlotte right now.
Camp, right?
Yeah. They do like 3-4 days of just like getting their bearings. Then all the development guys are down there in Charlotte, and then I know most of them will head to Arizona, and then at least a couple of the college guys will get assigned out to affiliates here in a week or two, which is cool.
They're all begging Rock to buy him some food, buy me some shoes.
Yeah, I mean, he should be popping for dinner. There's no question.
10 plus mil. I mean, can you guys imagine being like 21 and just being like, just seeing $10 million something dollars?
No, I could not.
I'd be.
Holy shit!
I'd not be short life for me.
Crazy. I mean, good thing Rock's only buying a truck and he's stopping there. That's what he said. So I mean,
these kids are much more disciplined than we were at that age. I applaud them.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Rock's Elijah MLB too, so that like he's got at least like somebody can tell him, hey man, you're gonna have ebbs and flows here when it comes to this shit. So that's good. Yeah,
good old Rock Chalewski. Elijah, thanks so much for joining us, man. Really appreciate it. Hope to do this do this more often. We won't do it this exact format, but we'll love to have you back.
Serious.
No, that sounds great, guys. It's long overdue first appearance. It's good to hang out.
Keep
and
killing it,
chop up
dude.
a
You're
little
like
with you guys.
out there in these
Appreciate you
streets,
guys.
man. People need to follow you more.
I love
Like,
to see it. And I love to see you doing interviews to the major league players. That was awesome.
It's been crazy.
We saw
That was
Ian
fun.
afterwards. That's cool, man. Keep it up.
Yeah,
Keep up
Ian
that shit.
Ian was a wonderful cameraman with me. That was awesome. But no,
Before you go,
it's been fun. It's been fun.
Before you go, let everybody know where they can follow you, what they should be looking at.
Appreciate it, guys. I'm on Twitter, always talking White Sox and prospects at Elijah EV8. But just baseball media, we're doing a million different things. We're all over. We got podcasts, socials. If you want to listen to me yap about prospects, Future Sox, obviously, where we'll talk about every single prospect in this organization, all 120 of them. So a lot of all that content. But no, I appreciate you guys always. Thanks for thanks for letting me out. It's a pleasure.
Thanks a lot, Elijah. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, guys. Have a good.
You too. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was so fun, right?
I was worried doing a bit like that with the first time guest, but he killed awesome. Awesome.
He crushed it.
Well, guys, you know what time it is then. It's time for thank yous and GFYs. MySoxSummer, who are you thinking, or GFY? And I feel like you did some research today.
I did do some research. I've been up since like 4 a.m. today, so I'm a little tired, but I was perusing on the Reddits, and I was going to do a Reddit roundup potentially today for a banter, but there wasn't anything really cooking until I found some good stuff, but this was my one real good one. For the day, a person had said they had gotten double charged by the concession stand, and they were still fighting with concessions to get their charge back. And, they were looking for they were expressing this interest, and people were going, "Oh yeah, I had that happen once. The person was really bad to me. The concession worker didn't do this or this and that," and then this guy submitted his thing, and he said, last year, my friend got his drinks from the vendor, and he said no to the tip, and the vendor threw his card on the floor and walked away. And I wrote right after that, said, not tipping a vendor that walks around so you don't have to is bullshit behavior, in my opinion. And I got 3 upvotes on that, which is almost a record on Reddit for me, because people hate me. And then somebody come up right behind me and says, not tipping the roaming beer guy is an asshole move. So my go fuck yourself is for Adventure Cakes. You fucking suck, dude, and you keep horrible company. And like to even like put out there, oh, my friend didn't tip the guy that brought the beers to my seat, so I didn't have to get up and miss any of the game. And then we're upset because the guy threw the guy's card on the ground because your friend is a douche.
Which never happened.
Right. Probably not. Or maybe he just dropped it and said, oh, I'm sorry. Whatever. But like this guy thought he was going to get some people to come up and support him. Be like, oh, yeah, fuck that guy. No, dude, like you're getting a service from somebody. And if you're not willing to pay for that service, don't get that service. Go to the vendor, go do whatever and complain later, or go to the booths or whatever, not the booths, but the tubs. And then pay for that. And then you can stiff that person a little bit easier than the actual guy that's schlepping, all that stuff around to you. So go fuck yourself, Dream Cakes.
Yeah, it's an old modern drunkard rule.
Yeah.
If you can't afford to tip, you can't afford to go out and drink.
Stay
home. Stay at home. Stay at home. Beef, who are you thinking of GFY?
Oh my God. I got to thank Alex Rude, of course, the OG coming on here and doing some trade deadline stuff. I got to thank Elijah Evans for jumping right in the pit right here. Right out of the frying pan in the fire with us and doing that bit. I got to thank Danny Miller and Jacob Thome for having me on Hot Takes and Heaters last night. I had a lot of fun doing that. And my GFI goes to the Canadian wildfire smog because way too much of it got on my gigantic nose. Chorizy, who you thinking of GFI, my friend?
Oh man, all of what you just said. First of all, so huge thank you to Elijah. Huge thank you to Alex. Alex, great as always. Elijah, new friend of the podcast. I really enjoyed it. I'm also going to thank an old colleague of mine, which is when I was working in the music industry, a guy named Curse Mackey. He wrote a book recently. I read it. I reached out to him. I said, man, you know, I was inspired by the book. I got to get off my ass and finally do some kind of music podcast. Would you be willing to be the first guest on this thing? And he wrote back and he was like, fuck yes, let's do this shit. So Tuesday we'll be doing that. I don't know how often I'll do it because it's going to depend on, like, you know, who I can find to talk into some of these deep corners of music. I really want to get into like kind of like the making of kind of thing, you know.
I like it.
Really
good approach.
Really more behind of like what goes on in like the music business too. So Curse is a perfect first person to do that with. So I'm very excited for that. But just his willingness and quick response. Like, I mean, like I sent him an email and he was like 2 seconds later, like, we're doing this shit. Tell me the times.
Nice.
I'm in. So it was really awesome. And so I appreciate him for that. And we'll be doing that Tuesday. So you'll see that Tuesday afternoon. So, you know, perfect drinking time for everybody. So but with that, thank you everybody for joining tonight. We'll see you all very soon. Enjoy your weekend. Bye. Next weekend we'll be back in the park. So see you then.
In the city of Chicago, back in the day, there was a ball player. They called him Jizz. They said playing for the White Sox, he had a certain flair. He hit 69 home runs, man, that ain't fair. He swung that bat like a wild tornado storm. Every time he stepped up, he smashed it. It was the norm. The ladies in the stands, they couldn't help but stare. The legend of Alejandro Jizz spreading everywhere. Ooh, Alejandro Jizz got the magic touch. On the field, he was a king.